Round one. Fight!
The whole thing!
So that had a wrong graphic, I guess. I don't even know how that even got up there, but that's not the episode. We are doing action movies, but it's this one. Best movies from 2005 to 2009. So that's it. So these are like a handful of the movies that we'll be talking about. So just follow that one and you'll be set. So, but yeah, welcome to Ranker Fights. This is episode number 62. But like I said, best action movies from 2005 to 2009. We split the decade of the 2000s because it's another stack decade, and this will be the last of our action series. So we're going to be having Action Championship in November. We don't have a set date yet. It'll be in November. We know, but we'll let you know when exactly that's going to be. So it'll be fun because we went through every decade. Two of the decades we had to split in half, 90s and 2000s. So yeah, it'll be a good time. But yeah, I'm your host, Jordan, the movie hero or aka action hero tonight. And I'll go ahead and I'll introduce my panel for tonight. I have my co-host here, Austin Pez Howell. What's up, Austin?
If I'm standing up and falling asleep tomorrow at work, it's your fault, Jordan. But that's okay.
Yeah, I know. My work got like majorly a delay because I requested as much overtime as I could get because of our trip, so I'm like working a ton. So,
but we'll talk some action movies. I do think there are some gems in here. Like I do think there's a clear, pretty clear list of really good stuff in here. So we'll point it out. You'll see as we go.
We'll see, because I mean, you might think that. I don't know if it's really that clear. I don't know. We'll have to debate a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe it'll start to like materialize that clear top 10, and once we get into this thing. But we also have joining us Ross Bristow.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yef and I, like there are some good ones, but there's also some on here. Really, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's fun to talk about the good ones. It's fun to talk about the bad ones. All those tiers get a little lonely, so even F tier needs something to fill it out, So, but we also have joining us Stephen Shepard. How's it going, Stephen?
Yeah, it's going well. I think there's plenty of good movies. Maybe not like a lot of amazing movies, but plenty of good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just interested to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions because some movies I think are great. Maybe other people might not agree with, so we'll see. But you also have joining us tonight, Richie, Nemo, Goodacre. How's it going?
What's up? Yeah, no, looking forward to it. Yeah, I think there's enough decent movies here. It's not a stack, so like a few years, but I think there's some gems in here. So yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We'll find some. So but yeah, this will be our group for now. We'll have one other person joining us here in a little bit. So for right now, we won't have any. Actually, we won't even have to worry about tiebreakers here. I was going to say that's tournament fight, so we're all good. So Austin, do you want to break it down how it's going to work while I bring up the tier chart?
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of action movies available for nomination. Like Jordan was saying earlier in the chat, they're a little bit jumbled, so we'll need some assistance. I'll do my best to kind of spot them out amongst all the posters. But yeah, we'll get lined up on the side over here. Jordan will bring up the tier ranker chart, and we'll go up and down the line. Everybody will get a chance to nominate a film. And once you nominate a film, you can nominate it for any tier you like. We have everything from S for superior at the top, and then like grades in school, A, B, C, D, F. And you can nominate anything for anyone. So once, let's say Richie at the bottom there nominates movie A for S tier, we'll go around the horn. Everybody kind of under. We'll make sure we keep it under a minute because we're starting late tonight. But everybody get a chance to chime in on that film and where they would rank it, and then we'll move up the ladder, to Steven, Ross, etc. Everybody will get a chance to nominate stuff. We'll go roughly about 2 hours or so, and then we'll wrap it up with a Hail Mary sort of last chance round, and anything can happen. We've had stuff jump up in there last second. We've had movies that started in A tier and ended up in S tier because they got a bump at the last minute due to the rest of the movie. So anything can happen, but we'll see what we got going on here. So yeah, there's a whole ton of movies to talk about, but there's plenty of movies to talk about. So then we'll find everything. We'll make our way through.
This one we had last night with Adam Sandler movies, but that's all right. So, but you should all have the list. Everyone on the panel have a list in the group chat. So we'll start with the bottom of the ladder. So Richie, you'll be up first. So what do you want to nominate first?
All right, I'll do you a favor, and you don't have to go far. Go to the top. Go right to the top. And I'll go to a love letter of 80s action, and I'll go Hot Fuzz.
Oh, nice, yeah. The easy one to find because I wasn't able to put them in alphabetical order this time, so that helps. That one right there at the top.
I mean, we've talked about Hot Fuzz a lot on both shows, but Hot Fuzz is amazing. It's one of my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. I think the action is great, and it's just a love letter to Die Hard and all those 80s action films, and I think it definitely sticks out in and definitely in this group. So Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Steven, what do you think about Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
I've always thought of it more of a parody than an actual action movie. I mean, I enjoyed it more these days than I did when it first came out. I'm not over the moon about it like most people are. It's better than The World's End, but I think Shaun of the Dead is the best of the Cornetto trilogy personally. I'll go B for Hot Fuzz.
Yeah. Sounds good. And Ross, what do you think about Hot Fuzz?
It'll surprise you. I've never seen it.
Ooh, man.
It's on my list. It's going to be the next one that I watch, but I am excited to watch it. It's because it has, a Bond in it, right? Isn't a Bond in it?
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
One of the villains.
Timothy Dalton's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So I haven't seen it, but it is on my list to watch it. Very high on my list.
Yeah. Well, Austin, then.
No, Hot Fuzz is S tier, man. One of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's great when it actually does start kind of. There's a distinct point in the movie where he kind of turns into the cliche, almost parody action hero when he puts on the shades. He starts dropping the one-liners. He literally rides into town on a horse, loaded up with guns. It's amazing. I love, I love Butterman's, love of action movies within the thing of Bad Boys 2 and stuff like Point Break, and even when he's just reading the covers of the movies, Super Cop. Meet the cop. The cop is not. He's just he loves it. He can't wait to get in gunfights. I think the action when they do get to it is actually very good. And even some of the smaller action scenes, even the foot chase in the middle of the movie is a lot of fun. This is a high up one for me, so I'm gonna say S tier.
Yeah, and for me too, that's an easy S for me. Yeah, I mean, because anytime you pair up Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, it's just gold, and It's my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy, but then I love just seeing a lot of these British actors just show up all in one place. I mean, seeing like Jim Broadbent. He said we already mentioned Timothy Dalton, Martin Freeman, Bill Nighy as the chief. It's just a good time, and the action just over the top on purpose, and I'm here for it. I love it. So yeah, it's an easy S tier. So
Yeah.
that's for me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Like Olivia Colman's in it. I'm sold.
Oh yeah, Yep, Olivia Colman. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
great. So yeah, it'll be an S tier for Hot Fuzz. So I mean, even with Stevens B, I think it still ends up in S tier.
For now, yeah, we'll see if stuff gets bumps it out later. But I'll keep track of the votes. But speaking
Yeah.
of Steven, what's your
Yeah.
first nomination, sir?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can see
Just
it.
go a little slow. We'll
Yeah.
call it out, and then we'll find it. We'll help you find it.
Yeah.
Like it might help just to do that.
Yeah, and I'll do the slow scroll so you can kind of look because they're not in alphabetical
Well-
order this time. But
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
There it is. It's right next to Max Payne and between Max Payne and Poseidon. Underneath Serenity and above it's Crank.
Crank.
Okay, yeah, right there.
All right.
Cool. Well, it makes sense with your screen name there. So yeah.
Fuck you, Chelios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think about Crank, Steven?
Oh, I just love how bonkers the movie is. And the action is fantastic. Jason Statham, it's probably my favorite role of his. I mean, I know you guys love Frank Martin, and I do enjoy the Transporter movies, but I think this is probably this might be my favorite Jason Statham role of his. I like to forget. Not forget, but I like to pretend like the sequel doesn't exist because I think the movie is a perfect standalone movie, and the ending is perfect. That's completely ruined by the sequel.
Yeah, it gets ruined. Yeah.
But yeah, I love Crank. It's a great action movie. It's very funny too. And I don't know if it came out around the same time as another, action movie that's tries to be bonkers, but in my opinion, it just had a bunch of generic shootouts. Except for one scene, and that's the scene in the airplane. I'll say if anyone brings that movie up, we can talk about it then. But this movie puts that movie to shame, in my opinion. Even though that other movie is still okay, but yeah, I love Crank.
Yeah. The funny thing is, if you look at the poster for Crank 2, the tagline, I won't say what it is, but it alludes to the ending of the first Crank movie, which is kind of weird. But yeah, but
Ross, what do you think of Crank?
Ross,
yeah. Okay, this is an S tier. I never even saw the second one because I said this ending's perfect, and then I remember there was that one scene. I forget if it's the beginning, middle, or the end. It's the scene is where she tries to get him to smoke some marijuana. He goes, I can't do that. It'll slow down my heart and then I'll effing die. This movie's great. It's so bonkers. And I wish the director would do more. So yes, I love this. Is definitely like an Esther about how crazy the movie is.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you
Oddly enough, it's kind of like Speed with a person, where he's got to keep his heart rate up. Instead of 50 miles an hour, he's got to keep his heart rate above 100.
Yeah, right.
Or he dies. And Speed and Crank are almost two words of the same drug, essentially. So I do think that was intentional when Neville D and Taylor made this movie. But yeah, I love the breakneck pace of this movie. I love that it's basically one of these one crazy day movies where he's just trying to survive the day, getting all kinds of wacky encounters. Yeah, the ending is amazing. I'll just say it involves a helicopter, but it's great if you haven't seen it. And yeah, it's I love that it's true to its nature as well. It's like under 90 minutes. It flies by. It's like 85 minutes. He's just running around the entire time. Part of it, the stuff where he has to have public sex with Amy Smart is hilarious. Just to get it up is pretty great. And I miss Amy Smart in movies, by the way. She's great.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely one of the most bonkers action movies of this era. And I'll go S tier for Crank. Sure.
Yeah. Amy Smart, she was great in Rat Race. So that's one. But yeah, Crank's awesome. Yeah, like I came around a little late to a lot of Jason Statham movies, just because I'm like, who is this guy? He's just doing a bunch of B-level kind of action movies. I'm not really that interested. And then I started watching some of them, and like some of them are really, really good. I guess I can't say most of them, but there are some great ones, and Crank is one of them. Crank rocks. Like it's a lot of fun from beginning to end. It's just all out, just balls to the wall action, like almost the whole time, and just like him having to shock himself and to stay alive and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's an S tier for me, but I mean, compared to what we have on the list, it may be a lower S tier for me. We'll kind of see what other movies make it to the S tier, but I'll say S.
All right.
Yeah. Too, like as you watch more Jason Statham movies too, Jordan, that joke in Spy is where like he talks about like all the stuff he's done is even funnier.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Richie.
Richie.
This movie, it definitely is bonkers. I think it's pretty underrated. But you stole my line. I said it's Speed with a Person. I was like, but anyway.
Well, it is.
Cool. I've got Crank. Oh, that's the Speed with a Person. Can I say that line? I'll Speed with a Person. Fuck. Anyway,
we vibe and click on a lot of things, Richie. So what do you say? Great minds think alike.
All good. It's great and it's bonkers, and I wish you'd do more bonkers stuff like this. It's quite good. It didn't need a sequel. I understand why I got one money, but it's just great. I'll go S tier as well.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, I guess it was.
Yeah, it's a sweep for Crank. So
it's a sweep, so it might go above.
For right now,
there you go. Yeah.
All right. Russ, what's your first nomination, sir?
Okay, scroll down. It is actually Hostage.
Okay.
Hostage for maybe like a low
you
S.
see it anywhere with
all right, so give him a second to find it. Yeah, so we'll look for Hostage here. But scrolling down, we'll find it.
I know what the cover looks like with Bruce Willis.
It's right there. It's right under Fearless.
On the left, left column.
Oh yeah,
there you go. Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you say about Hostage, Ross?
Hostage is a high A, low S. It's not perfect, but it was actually like one of the. I think it was the second to last Bruce Willis movie that I actually liked. Like the other one being Looper, but still like Hostage is great, especially like if you want to talk about creepy. If you look up the word creepy in the dictionary, Ben Foster in this movie is creepy, especially like the scene where the guy's like drowning in milk and he just sits there and watches. So yes, and then like anything with Kevin Pollak is always worth a look. So so Hostage is and then the action's good inside the house, and then so it's a low S, high A, only because the kid got a little bit on my nerves.
Well, if you had to go with S or A, which one would you go with? Just
A.
A. Okay, gotcha.
A, okay.
All right.
Started down here, but Austin, what?
Yeah, this is one I haven't seen since I saw it in the theater. It's been a minute, but I remember thinking it was pretty good. One of Bruce's kind of better 2000s movies. I might talk about a better one here in a second, but I do enjoy Hostage. It's got an interesting premise, where there's two different families. It's like one's his family and one's this other family he doesn't know, and he's got to kind of bounce back and forth between the two. So interesting premise. The action of the movie is like good. I don't know if it's great, but like it's pretty good. But I think it's an all right movie, if not a somewhat kind of forgettable movie. So I'll go B because I do enjoy it. But man, it's been a minute since I watched it.
Wolfman's here, by the way.
Yeah, Wolfman's here.
Okay, cool.
Hold on.
All right. But
What up?
yeah, for Hostage, I actually haven't seen it. I actually have like a fair amount of blind spots on this list, and I realized that I did not have time to watch very many movies either this week. So I watched one movie to prep for that. Hostage was not it. So, yeah, so I'll have to abstain.
Wolfman, if you want to vote on both Hostage and our first two picks, since we're just a little bit into it, Crank and Hot Fuzz, and give them a grade.
Well, I agree with Hot Fuzz in the S tier because it is maybe arguably goes between Scott Pilgrim and this, but it might be the second best Edgar Wright movie, right behind Shaun of the Dead for me. So I really do love that one. I think it's one of the best movies of all time. So definitely Hot Fuzz is in there in the S tier. I enjoyed Crank, but maybe it's just like the movie feels like you are on cocaine. Like the whole runtime.
I think that's the purpose, but
maybe that's why I think I need to see it again. Because like I guess when I first watched it, I didn't understand that was what they were going for. And then now that I know what they were going for, it's like I think I would actually appreciate it better. But I would still say that it's like an A tier type movie for me. I don't think it's like the most top tier action movie out there. So I would say it's still like, but I think it's still a really fun time. So I think A tier is a good place for it. And then Hostage, I've actually not seen. So I don't know where I would put it at, but from Ross's recommendation, it sounds like it's worthy in the spot.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you haven't seen it, you can just not vote. Yeah.
Austin was saying about Crank, though, Mike. Imagine it's like Speed, except the Speed's a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense because it's like, because he's like going faster than most race cars.
Yeah. But
Richie, have you seen Hostage?
Yes, I have, but I don't know. I might with like Austin might need to watch it again. I didn't mind it. I remember piece to it. I know it's got a daughter in it as well, like Rumo Willis or something. I thought it was decent, but because it's like not as memorable as a lot of the other ones on that we would talk about. I can't put it too highly, so I'd go B as well. I thought it was all right from my memory, but I don't remember much about it. I need to rewatch it, and maybe I'll rewatch will go up, but I'll go B.
All right.
Yeah.
You've seen Hostage?
Yeah, like you, Austin, I have not seen it since it was in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's one that I thought was decent, but never really stood out to me as something that I wanted to revisit among Bruce Willis movies. But yeah, I think B tier is probably a good spot for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the votes at?
An A and 3 Bs, so probably in the B tier for now. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
That sounds about right. Well, Austin, you're up.
Well, so I alluded to it just a second ago. I've got my bald Bruce Willis yippee-ki-yay motherfucker shirt on.
Oh, okay.
Because I've alluded that I will defend this movie to the death, and it's right there over on the right column, Live Free or Die Hard. Let's talk about it. Look, I told you I'd be defending this movie. I think this movie is like, I don't think obviously it's as great as the original Die Hard, but if we're talking about the sequels, I think this movie's horrendously underrated. I think this thing was good as soon as I saw it in the theater. It's only gone up for me on rewatches. People complained about, it's PG-13. I'm like, so what? So he only gets to say the F word once? Like, who cares? He drops the line. That's all he needs to drop. And actually, there's still a ton of, violent and brutal stuff that happens in it. Bruce Willis gets the shit kicked out of him in this movie. But he has really good chemistry with Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it as his kind of grown-up daughter. I think Timothy Olyphant is a fantastic villain in this movie, doing the, shutting down all this, doing all this cyber terrorism. It's a fun premise because it's John McClane versus technology, which it kind of frustrates him. But I love his partnership with Justin Long as the hacker. And I think there's just some great action set pieces. The scene in the tunnel where he turns all the cars on him is really good. The stuff, it just gets nutty at the end when he's driving the semi truck, against the plane. Like, it's crazy, but it's awesome. Like, I really dig it. And there's some really good shootouts when he's trying to to fight the little parkour guy kind of in the building. Like, it's a lot of fun. I think this movie's great, and I think it holds up right there with one of the best Die Hard movies. So I'm gonna go S tier for Live Free or Die Hard. I think it's really, really good. Yeah, Kevin Smith's great in it too as the warlock. So good stuff.
Yeah, like I actually think I'm right there with you, Austin. I think this movie's great. I actually I don't think it's as good as the original one, but like I even put it higher than Die Hard 2, just because I'm like I mean, I like Die Hard 2. I don't love it, but I mean, but yeah, this movie is a hell of a lot of fun, and Justin Long's great, just kind of being the like hacker guy, but then also being the kind of clueless to the action part. So they have a great juxtaposition because John McClane, like, he doesn't seem to know anything about technology, so he has a Justin Long there, and then Justin Long's character has zero experience with all these crazy action situations that he's put into. So he's kind of freaking out too. So it kind of brings some humor to it. So I've been a big fan of Justin Long for a long time. Like I remember back when he used to do all those Apple computer commercials and stuff back in the day. So, but yeah, I'll say S tier. Yeah.
I just wanted to point out I do actually prefer the alternate foreign title of the movie, since it's got like a cyber terrorism theme. They actually called it overseas Die Hard 4.0, which I kind of love that title.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I wish they'd stuck with that because I like that title.
Yeah.
Wolfman.
So yeah, I actually I agree. I think that this is a very underrated Die Hard sequel. This is actually one of the first ones that I watched when I was younger, because I'm a youngling. That's why. But don't worry, I watched the first Die Hard first, and then I watched this one. But
that's good.
it was really it was actually really solid. There was definitely some, like, just like the first Die Hard, there was some majorly unbelievable moments, but still overall though, it was a fun time, and I think that I think it would be a good A tier level action movie. So
yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, no, this movie is definitely underrated. I really like it. I watched it sort of semi recently, maybe just over a year ago. Like not for the first time, but I rewatched it. It's really fun, and yeah, I think, like, having John McClane only say the F word once actually gives it more power. Like Mick Foley on his shows only says the F word once because he wants to make it more power. So there's something about, like, having the yippee kind of thing. You're waiting for it. It kind of makes it more cool. So I don't think that PG rating hurt it at all. It was really fun, and I liked I liked Kevin Smith as, like, the other sort of cyber tech guy. I think he's pretty fun. I think it was really fun movie that gets underrated because I guess because it's not as, like, as violent as predecessors. I don't know why it's underrated, but I would definitely go S tier. I think it's really good. So.
Yeah. Steven, what do you think?
Well, the problem with the PG-13 rating is although you are allowed one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie, apparently you're not allowed to say motherfucker in a PG-13 movie because when he says the line, it's interrupted with a gunshot. In the theatrical cut, there is an unrated version they released when it came out on DVD.
Is it with the word mother? I don't really understand that. It's been censored in more than just this movie. Mother. Yeah.
I love Timothy Olyphant. I think he's okay in this movie. It's not one of my favorite performances of his. I think Maggie Q is awesome in this movie. She's just a great henchwoman. I really like the movie a lot. The first two Die Hard movies are definitely S tiers. I think for me, 3 and 4 are A tiers, and that's all the Die Hard movies there are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go A tier for Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah, nobody with
let-
the last name McLean went to Russia.
Well, actually, I love the tagline to A Good Day to Die Hard, which is "Yippee Mother Russia."
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Len Wiseman, his career started off great. I don't know what happened to him afterwards, because I think the first 2 Underworld movies and this, but then he did Total Recall, and then his career kind of went.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well,
Yeah.
he's just doing TV now. He's a TV director, so which is it's a steady gig, it's a living. You know what I mean? There's a lot of those guys who do that. That's fine, but yeah, he after Total Recall, it was kind of like, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
Ross.
Okay. This movie is an A tier for me. The unrated cut I prefer though, but still, like, I remember, like, this is the first one I saw in theaters, but it's not the first one. You like, actually, this is my 3rd favorite Die Hard, and then still, like, I love this movie. I mean, it's not an S tier, but I still got a lot of entertainment value. Like, like, Justin Long is great, and then, like, I don't know why I feel like if this had come out maybe like 5 years earlier, Maggie Q's role would have been played by Tia Carrera. But still, like, it's still a good movie. And then like, I prefer the battery commercial with John McClane to Die Hard 5.
Oh yeah, yeah, the Die Hard one. Yeah, the battery. Yeah. But so what are the votes here?
It's 3 and 3, so it'll hang on for now. We'll see if it gets bumped.
The
question is,
yeah.
Do y'all Live Free and Die Hard, or is it A Good Day to Die Hard?
Yeah.
I prefer to just Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my favorite one in the series though
Live Free and
is
Die Hard.
actually Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's my favorite of the series, though.
Yeah. Well,
surely there should have been a sequel at one point because of the saying. There should have been a sequel at some point called Old Habits Die Hard. But anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And maybe there still will be. But,
whatever happened to the prequel?
It died hard. It died hard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it died hard.
Nobody wanted to see it. We killed it.
No. And now it's not going to happen, at least with Bruce Willis, because he's not acting. So.
All right, Jordan, what do you want to nominate?
So I want to go for. Let's see if I can find it. I want to go for Iron Man. If anyone sees it, I know clearly what
seeing it on either the right or the left because it got shifted around. But yeah,
did I pass it already? Because I feel like I would clearly recognize it, but maybe not.
Go back up.
Weird. I know it's here.
I saw it somewhere. I just gotta scroll.
Oh yeah, there it is. I see it. It's right there. So,
all right.
But yeah, Iron Man's awesome. Like this is the movie that cemented me that one we got Robert Downey Jr. back, and like he's awesome, and he's a great actor that clearly deserves a second chance. And also Jon Favreau, it's been to me that he's a fantastic director too. So and I love me a good origin story when it comes to superhero movies. I don't like when they're overdone too much. So like Spider-Man, like we've had so many, we don't need to see any more origin stories. But for like new characters and stuff, it's a lot of fun. And they really did it super gritty. They showed him selling weapons to the government and just like putting on a big show. They kind of showed a little bit of his drinking stuff, and then which they really show in Iron Man 2 and 3. But like here, like it's cool how he gets captured, and then he has to build the first version of the Iron Man suit, and it's just kind of like an old kind of clunky version, but it really works, and it's still pretty cool. And then you have Gwyneth Paltrow in there as a great love interest as Pepper Potts, and then Jeff Bridges played a really great villain as the Ironmonger, and then I even kind of prefer Terrence Howard as Rhodey over Don Cheadle, but I mean, I guess it was creative differences and money differences. I don't know exactly 100% what it was, but yeah. So I'm gonna say S tier for Iron Man. The original Iron Man's great. So
All right.
But yeah, Wolfman, what do you think of Iron Man?
Well, I think Iron Man is the man. I think that I think that it's a great film. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's unpopular now. I think it's still like popular to say that it's one of my. It might be in my top 3 MCU films of all time.
Mm.
I think that it's just one of the best origin stories we have for a Marvel character. And I feel S tier would be warranted for this one. I do, just because it's like the fact that this kickstarted it, and then it was just so good at the start, and then it just went to just show how this universe, and it just became so large. And it's interesting because it's like the MCU now, they're just so grand in scale and everything like that. But back in during this phase 1, before they got to Avengers, Avengers capped it off, they were very much more like smaller and intimate with their stories, and that's sort of what this was. This was like more of a character piece, a character study that explored several themes. I thought Jeff Bridges was an excellent villain. No one talks about him enough in the MCU. I think that, like you said, Terrence Howard was great. Everyone here was great, and Robert Downey Jr. is one of those actors who literally, it's like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, and then Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Those are the 3 actors who were born to play their role in like Marvel.
Exactly.
Yep. So yeah, just is incredible. So
yeah,
All right.
sounds
Richie?
good, Richie.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Iron Man. I haven't gone back and watched it a lot. I've watched it maybe like 3 times or so. But yeah, it definitely it kicked off a whole era, like a whole sort of movement with movies. And I think it's I definitely think it holds up. And yeah, I really think that the action set pieces are great. I think it's fantastic. I think S tier is good for it. So yeah, I'll go S tier.
Yeah. Steven, what do you think?
I think Iron Man is almost an S tier, but what stops it from being an S tier for me is the climax, the big action scene between the Iron Man and the one that Jeff Bridges' character is in, and it just felt kind of clunky. And but I do love the movie. It is in the upper tier of MCU movies. So I would go A tier.
Yeah. Sounds good. Ross, what do you
This
say
is
about
an
Iron Man?
S tier. This is an S tier for me. It's not my favorite MCU movie anymore, but if you think about it, this is really like one of the most important films ever made. Because if this doesn't work, then I don't know if the MCU is around today.
Mhm.
So yeah, so like this is like one of the most important films ever. So yes, it's an S tier. And then it was. I think that this was actually this was like the peak of Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback, because like he had like Zodiac, where he proved that he can act. So yeah,
he's there.
yeah. So and then before that, he had the Shaggy Dog, which not that better. But yeah, this movie's definitely like an S tier for me anyway.
Yeah, and like who would have thought Iron Man, like they would start there? Because like before that in the comic book, Iron Man wasn't like they're like one of the most popular characters, but now he is for sure. But Austin, what do you think?
What I think of Iron Man? Well, I think MCU's been clunking out those Photoshop posters since the beginning, haven't they?
Yeah.
Boy, those Photoshopped heads on a poster. I prefer the alternate title where it's just the head from the side a little bit with the light up eyes. I think that's a better poster.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, on to the actual movie. No, this is S tier. Like I think this movie still holds up. I think the effects still look really good for like a 2008 movie. The scene where he goes over to kind of take out the tanks and some of the weapons still looks great. Still got a nice kind of griminess, dirtiness to it that I like. I think the part where he builds the first one and escapes out of the cave is a pretty spectacular action scene, just from start to finish. Really creative. There's just creative stuff with stakes. People kind of coming in and out of the movie. I like this movie a lot. I still think it's a nice kind of grounded movie, and I dig it. So I'm going S tier for Iron Man.
Yeah, sounds good. So, was it a clean sweep?
No, it's five
Oh yeah,
and one.
because the awesome.
5-1.
I mean, I'm sorry. Steven had the A. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, too. And then I love how the kid from A Christmas Story is like in this, and they brought him back for the Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah.
Who is he in this?
Okay, you remember the guy, like the short guy with the glasses, the one that Jeff Bridges was yelling at about how he says it's not ready, and then Jeff Bridges says, "I don't care."
Stark did it in a cave. With the
Oh
box.
wow, that was him.
Yeah, that's Peter
Yeah.
Parker. Yeah.
Stark did
That was
it in a
Ralphie.
cave. That was a bad
Wow,
Jeff Bridges impression.
crazy. Well,
There we go.
we're in the Wolfman. So since you're just coming in, you want to pick a movie now? Your first one?
Absolutely. So, first one that I'm going to pick is first one I'm going. First one I'm going to pick is oh man, a lot of tough choices.
Yeah, a lot of choices. They're not in alphabetical order this time, but we did send the list in the Facebook group. You can find it in there to the full list.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick my 11th favorite movie of all time, and that is V for Vendetta.
Ooh,
And
okay.
Remember
anyone
7th
sees
of
the
September,
poster.
because it's not actually it's not November, so yeah.
Mhm.
It's it's at the top. It's like I think at the top. I think it's like the very top row.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, second one right there.
Mhm.
But what do you think about V for Vendetta?
So yeah, V for Vendetta, to me, it's the greatest comic book movie ever made. I think that it's a masterpiece. Natalie Portman is incredible in this film. Absolutely incredible. Hugo Weaving manages to be able to give you such a enthralling performance without even like showing his face throughout the movie. He's just incredible in it. And then, I mean, just the thing, and it's just scary how like politically relevant it still is, because this film is heavily influenced in politics. And I'm not going to get into politics in the stream, but I will say, like, you watch it and it's like very scary how real to today it is. Like, and this is a film back in 2005, so it was just it was ahead of its time, and the comic was ahead of its time. And while the comic might be better overall, V for Vendetta is probably the greatest comic book adaptation there is and ever will be, in my opinion. So
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I don't know if I'd go as far as say it's the best comic book movie of all time, but it's very. I think it's very good. And I enjoy all the performance in it, and yeah, it definitely holds up. I don't know. It's not one I always go back to for some reason. So yeah, but I do like it a lot. I'll go A tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you say?
It's actually my fourth favorite comic book movie of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an easy S tier for me. I think it's an incredible movie. I don't know how James McTeague goes from this to Ninja Assassin, but for some reason,
Anybody want to go ahead and nominate Ninja Assassin for F tier? I'll support you. I saw that movie in the theater.
I mean, I don't think Ninja Assassin is that bad, but it's not good.
I do. That's some of the worst editing I've ever seen in an action movie. It's really bad.
Is it worse than Alex Cross's editing?
Maybe. I don't know. Ninja Assassin's bad.
I mean, Ninja Assassin is bad enough that it kind of almost gives some relevance to the theory that maybe the Wachowskis had a lot to do with why this movie is great. But yeah, Hugo Weaving is essentially giving a voiceover performance, and he's amazing in the movie. I think this might be my favorite work of his, even more so than in the Matrix,
Yeah.
and Lord of the Rings. So yeah, it's an easy S tier for me.
Yeah. Ross. Yeah, what
It's
do you
been
think?
so long, I forget. So I'll just say I haven't seen it.
Okay,
Sure. Yeah.
fair enough.
Austin.
Yeah, Steven, it looks great in 4K, by the way. If anybody hasn't picked it up in 4K yet, I got that V for Vendetta 4K. It looks great, so I watched it.
I
fairly
concur.
recently. I picked that up. Yeah, it looks good. And yeah, this movie's awesome. This movie just gets better every time I watch it. And it's funny, I don't watch it a lot, mainly because I almost have this thing where I want it to have more of an effect, so I don't watch it over and over again. Just every 2 or 3 years, I'll pop it in. And
Every
be like,
5th of November, man. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. Pop this movie in, and you go, God damn, this movie's good. And yeah, like even the action scenes in the movie are incredible. All the fight scenes are great. Yeah, the final one where he's taking out all the guys just with the knives is amazing. Really good storytelling, really good performances. Natalie Portman's awesome in this movie. It's that ongoing debate: is Natalie Portman good or not? Well, she's good in this movie, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
To debate. I would say
I think there's a debate, enough of a debate. She's had a lot of bad performances too.
I think she's good. I don't know.
I think there's a debate to be had. Me and John Marr had it on a battleground. I made it.
Really? Alan Moore, though.
Yeah.
Alan Moore has like one of the best comic book, adaptations based on the comic book, and then he literally has one of the worst also.
Yeah.
You know what the other one would do? What the awful one was?
The League of Extraordinary.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, don't listen to Alan Moore. Like, he hates this movie and he hates Watchmen. He literally came out one time and said, like, they asked, why do you hate all these adaptations? He literally just hates his work being adapted in general. Like, it could be the best movie in the world, and he just says he hates the fact that his work is even adapted. So
making millions of dollars. Come on.
Yeah,
get over it.
tune like
So
what was the first work of his to be adapted? It'll surprise you guys.
Just say it. Just say it.
From Hell.
Okay, there you
Oh
go.
yeah. Yeah.
I've never read that one.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Get back to the point. S tier V for Vendetta. Sorry. Go ahead, George.
Yeah. Yeah, like V for Vendetta's awesome. Like James McTeague really dropped off the map like after that. Like he really like just did like a bunch of like, I don't know, like B-level movies and then a couple of TV episodes and he's gone. So it's kind of weird, but he's not totally gone because I think he is friends with the Wachowskis, because I think that the Wachowskis probably had a hand in V for Vendetta because later on James McTeague even has a little cameo in Matrix Resurrections, and then he directed something that's called The Matrix Awakened, an Unreal Engine 5 experience. I don't know what that is.
It was a beta for like an open world Matrix thing. Essentially, there's a lot of games that use the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, it sounds cool though.
For like open world stuff. I've seen stuff with Superman and things like that. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Unreal. He directed
Engine.
a really shitty movie called Breaking In. I don't know how you go from V for Vendetta to Breaking In.
Oh, was that Nia Long or something? No,
Oh, yeah.
Gabrielle
Gabrielle
Union.
Gabriel Union. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah,
Not
I've seen
good.
the trailer of that.
But V for Vendetta's awesome. Like Hugo Weaving, like, we already mentioned him and like how great he is, and then Natalie Portman, just the journey that her character goes through, it's just like really a crazy, like it almost feels like her transformation becomes a whole different person, and it's like really cool to kind of see that. So yeah, like I used to have one of those. I forget what you call those V for Vendetta masks. There's like a name for it, but
Guy
like
Fawkes.
Guy Fawkes.
Yeah, the Guy Fawkes. I used to have one of those because I wore it on Halloween once, but I don't think I have it anymore. But yeah, it's an S tier for me though. So
Awesome.
All right.
So that means Ross, you need to rewatch V for Vendetta because
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
So what were the votes at? It's like
4 and 1. 4 S's and an A. So
Okay.
yeah, it'll be in there.
Every November, New Zealand has like a Guy Fawkes Day where you lit up fireworks. I don't know if it's
Oh, nice.
but yeah, that was
That's cool. Yeah. Well,
Richie?
Richie, you're
All right,
you're
cool.
next.
Well,
You wanna go
I
first?
think we've got to mention it at some point, so I'll bring it up. We've got to mention a Bond film, and obviously the better Bond film in this era was Casino Royale. So Casino
yeah.
Royale, Casino
You stole
Royale
my next
rules.
pick. Yep.
Casino Royale rules. I think it's the first Daniel Craig Bond, and
The poster.
obviously with a new Bond, you don't know what your I'll wait till you find it before I expand.
Yeah, it's right there.
There you go. But yeah, I'll go S tier. Obviously the new Bond, you know, like it can be a gamble. You don't know what you're gonna get. Like Daniel Craig wasn't like too known before this. He did a really good underrated gangster movie called Layer Cake, which also check that out if you haven't. Not movie. But yeah, and he's really good. I actually had I remember theatre experience because I actually watched this movie in London, so it was kind of cool. I'm like, dude, look, a Bond movie is coming out. While we're there, we have to watch it. And then it was like, but like it was like my dad and everybody was like, we were jet lagged, and they're like, no, we got to go watch it. And it was I dragged him out, and then dad loved it, and it was I think it's amazing. Mads Mikkelsen's a great villain. And I just think it's like, especially considering like this is sort of like almost a remake to like a parody film,
that goofy like 60s movie.
So it's just amazing that they were able to do that. Yeah, and like the action set pieces are amazing. This is S tier easily. So Casino Royale.
Yeah, that sounds good. Steven, what do you think?
All right. I like Casino Royale. Don't get me wrong. It does have one of the best action scenes of the entire decade. That construction site chase sequence is absolutely incredible.
Good. So S tier. All right, Ross.
Yeah, right.
Okay, S tier.
I'm kidding.
But most of my issues with this movie is about the third act. First of all, it felt a little disjointed. Second, I never really bought that Bond fell in love with Vesper. Not mostly because they just don't have much screen time alone together. There's one scene, and it's a nice tender moment between them. But it's also after this big action scene in which her character was frightened, and because I didn't buy that Bond fell in love with her, it makes the ending less impactful than it should have been to me. But overall, I still enjoyed it. I would still go with a B tier.
Whoa!
Wow!
Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa!
Oh,
Okay.
Whoa!
Okay.
Steven, come on. If this is anyways, I'll get to it when I get to it. Go ahead, Ross.
Okay, yeah, this is an S tier. And
I'm
plus,
just chiming in because
I'm
everybody else is.
I'm actually
whoa!
I'm actually going through like every single Bond film, and then I'm right in the middle of the Roger Moore, so that's a struggle to get through. But but still, this movie's amazing. And they're like, I love it. And then it's probably right now my second or third favorite Bond. And then I'm on Moonraker, so yeah, this is amazing compared to Moonraker.
Well, we have Moose Haas in the chat. He says if Hot Fuzz and Casino Royale.
I mean, we're trying, but old Sourpuss Steven on here is like knocking down all of us.
Yeah, Sourpuss tonight. So
Mr. Action doesn't thinks Crank is better than Casino Royale. That's all right.
Just he doesn't think that Top Gun's amazing at all.
Yeah.
Tonight. Yeah. Some of these movies don't make the Action Championship, but we'll see.
But Russ, you said S tier, so
Oh yeah, definitely.
no, I got you. No, dude, come on, this is like top 5 Bonds, period, because of how good it is, how well shot it is, how good those action set pieces are. That opening set piece alone cranks it up and makes it memorable. The airport sequence is excellent. Some of the stuff at the end I think is great. I can forgive the Vesper stuff if I'm having a great time overall and I'm still invested in the movie and with what Craig is doing. I'm fine with that. But if we're going on again, this is a tier ranker for action. I think Casino Royale is right up there. Skyfall is still slightly higher for me personally, but that's we already talked about Skyfall. Casino Royale rules. This movie is an easy S tier, Steven, but that's okay. I know you don't appreciate good action, so that's fine. Move on.
Yeah. It's a B tier. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's S. It's S for sure. Yeah. Casino Royale, it's top 5 James Bond. It's awesome and it's a great debut for Daniel Craig. I mean, and just kind of comparing him to Pierce Brosnan, near the end, he wasn't doing as many stunts. As far as leaping around, that construction scene, I was going to bring that up, how much he's running and leaping and jumping and grabbing onto things and fighting them guys. It's really cool. And then he goes to Madagascar and blows up the embassy over there. That's cool. And then just seeing anytime you have James Bond in a poker game, it's always a lot of fun. I think this movie's great. And Mads Mikkelsen playing Le Chiffre, he's a great Bond villain. So I gotta say S tier. So yeah.
All right. So for me, it's interesting because I literally was just on the phone today with a mutual friend of Ross's and mine, and we were talking about Bond, and I mentioned how Casino Royale is my favorite of the Daniel Craig Bond. It goes kind of back and forth between this and Skyfall, but I truly think Casino Royale is maybe the best of the Daniel Craig Bonds. It's one of the best Bond films in general. Just everything about it is excellent. It introduced us to his iteration, and he was great. Eva Green was great in this film. I thought that Mads Mikkelsen, he's Mads Mikkelsen. That's like saying water's wet. He's amazing. And so it's everything about this film was amazing. I haven't seen it in a long time. I need to rewatch it again, but I remember loving this movie. So yeah, it's definitely, to me, I feel as far as Bond films go, I think S tier is a good spot for it.
Yeah. Well, so stay in S tier.
What are you going to nominate next, Steven? You heel?
Yeah, please. Well, it's funny. The last time I did that and he crapped on something, I was like, I can't wait to hear your next thing. And then he named something. And I was like, all right, fair enough.
But you know what I realized too about Bond though? It doesn't really matter about the movie itself because it all it's about is who's playing Bond also. Because Roger Moore has had some okay Bond movies. He's just a boring Bond to me,
Yeah.
I will say this. Yeah. I will say this. My Name is my favorite Bond theme song.
Okay.
That's a good song. I like Chris Cornell. So
yeah.
But I do love The Man with the Golden Gun though. That one was really good.
There's a lot of good
Steven.
A lot of classic ones.
All right, what do you got?
Yeah, Steven.
What do you got?
Well, I'm going to go with
Come
the
on,
movie
Steven, what do you get?
I'm going to go with the movie that I think is generally received as a great movie, but I don't know if you guys would consider it a great action movie, even though I think it has great action scenes, and that's Children of Men.
Oh yeah. If anyone sees that, I'm not even sure what the poster looks like. So.
You'll just have to scroll and I'll look for it.
Yeah.
Bottom row.
Yeah.
Bottom row. Right next to
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. All right. So what do you think about it?
Oh, it's there's some moments in this movie that I think are pretty startling. I think the cinematography is incredible, especially that long take, that everyone talked about when that movie came out. is absolutely fantastic. We don't see Clive Owen much these days, and that's a shame because he's a really good actor, and he's great in this. Michael Caine, Julianne Moore, Chiwetel Ejiofor, all great. And yeah, I just think it's a really great futuristic, post-apocalyptic action sci-fi drama, and yeah, to me, I think it's an easy S tier, even as an action movie.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Well,
this
Ross?
isn't an S tier for me. This is definitely like an S tier. I love this movie. It's like I think it might be my favorite Alfonso Cuarón movie. But no, like Clive Owen was actually just in a TV show last year, so like he's not doing big stuff on the big screen, but like he actually did that American Crime Story. So yeah, he was really good in that. But yeah, so this movie I love it, and like Julianne Moore's great in it. So,
yeah.
I'm laughing.
All right,
So I think
cool.
I know Austin's take on this movie.
You,
Austin?
yeah, you guys want to hear my hot take of the night? I fucking hate this movie. I hate this movie
Really?
with a passion. I
Oh.
hate this movie with a passion. I think it's a fucking mess. I think this
Oh.
movie's an absolute mess. They don't explain a single goddamn thing that's going on in this movie. They explain none of the world, why nobody can have babies, who the hell's fighting who, and why there's zero character development. You're just thrown into all this stuff. I have no idea why Clive Owen gets kidnapped at the beginning of the movie. They don't explain it. They don't explain who Michael Caine is. There's a few good, well shot sequences. The one take sequence is well shot. But I hate how pretentious and bullshit this movie is. Like, I've always hated this movie. I hated it when I saw it. I rewatched it recently because me and Henry were talking about it for some reason, and so I did rewatch it, and like I hated it with a passion even more. This movie's an F. I hate this movie. I hate it. Hate.
Wow.
Wrong.
I mean, you got your revenge on Steven. There you go.
Well, it's not even like a bullshit thing. He brought this movie up, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I hate this movie. I made that known.
A new troll tonight. A new one.
It's not a secret.
Yeah, it was just good. It was good the way it worked out.
Yeah.
I don't like this movie.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't really say much of anything on it, except for back when we did our podcast, we were talking about movies that make us cry. When I was looking up some lists that they show that like long shot where like everyone stops fighting so they can bring the baby out and all that stuff like that.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I don't know. Like the scene
shit.
seems cool, but I just saw it out of context and just seen it that way. It seemed like a pretty powerful scene, but I've never seen the movie, so I can't give it a vote. So, Wolfman.
Here is the thing, Austin. All right, you don't need every single thing explained to you in a movie.
Yeah.
I would at least like something explained in this movie for context of what the fuck is going on and who's who. I would like something explained to me, but that's fine. If you want to be, think it's thought provoking, to not have anything explained, that's fine.
It's because it's up to the imagination. It's up to
God. Piss off with that.
Yeah,
like the ending of Lost, it's up to the imagination, right?
I mean, as some of my friends have nicknamed me before, I am the kind of as to quote the Social Network, pretentious douchebag of the group, because I'm like the one that's into all the artsy movies. And let me just say, Austin, if you're in my top 128 stream, then you're not gonna.
Well, you're not going to like my votes then.
You're definitely not, because this movie.
Not mine either.
Because this movie will be in there, so it's
a fair assumption he's going to be in your stream. He co-hosts the show.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's true.
In most people's stream.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's Alfonso Cuarón's masterpiece, and I mean. And that's saying a lot because he's done a lot of amazing things. But the only thing is, I don't know if I would classify this as like an action movie per se. I don't know. What do you guys like?
There's enough action in. I'd classify it as action movie.
When I think of action, I think this is almost in a way like a modern day kind of, I don't know, Schindler's or something. I don't know. It feels a lot more like that than it does like action to me, but that's just I guess me personally. I guess I'll. But if we're going based on film quality, then this is definitely S tier. So.
Yeah. Well, Richie, what do you think? Have you seen it?
Well, I mean, when we do these things, I base it on what the actual topic is and where it fits in the topic. And yes, while there is enough action in the movie to categorize it action, action's not the first genre that comes to mind when I think of this movie. So as an action movie, I'd honestly give it like a C, to be honest. It's not
sure.
like it's not like I consider it more dystopian sci-fi. If we're doing like dystopian sci-fi tier ranker, it might be higher up. But like I don't love it as much as other people do, but it's good. But but as an action movie, I would say C. It's there's no action set piece. Well, that was amazing. So yeah, C.
Yeah. Well, then the votes are what? They're like
3 S's, a C, and an F.
yeah, 3. So I don't know. Like I don't think we can drag it down too far. But as 3 S's, it might go to A, maybe with because there's an F in there. I don't know. I feel like A is probably about.
I feel like the C drags it down to B probably. But anyway.
Well, C might, but I mean, I usually like to give a little leeway to the person who nominated it. So I mean, it might be like a low A. So I think that's fair.
Hostage got better votes than Children of Men did, didn't it? I don't know.
Did it get better votes?
Not really, because Hostage didn't have any S votes. So I mean,
okay, I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Do you really think that Ernest in Africa is like better than this movie, Austin?
Ernest in Africa. Who the fuck said anything about Ernest in Africa?
No, because you were bashing this movie. I'm like, do you really think that Ernest in Africa is better than this movie?
Who said anything about Ernest in Africa? What does that have to do with anything?
No, I'm saying, I'm doing.
I guess because you love Ernest movies.
I didn't say I loved every Ernest movie.
Yeah. Not everyone.
I gotta say, I didn't even know there was an Ernest in Africa movie.
There's an Ernest in the Army. There's an Ernest goes to school. Yeah, I know, but like, I didn't say every Ernest movie is great.
No. But we'll go to Ross to.
Okay, I'm gonna pick actually a movie that I love that I feel like doesn't get enough deserve. I don't know where the poster is, but if you'll scroll down, maybe I'll see it. It's The Hurt Locker.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone sees that, I think I used the one with the guy standing
He's near the bottom
around him.
I think.
I know it's.
The white poster.
The best scene in the movie too.
Yep.
Yeah,
what do you think about the Hurt Locker?
I love the Hurt Locker. Like I love it. I love the military stuff, and then like I was talking about like Catherine Bigelow, and then like I love the idea of this like adrenaline junkie in the military. About like how much crazy stuff he gets into. It's how he enjoys risking his life every day. So yeah, this movie was actually, I think it was my favorite of the year. Yeah, if it wasn't, it was actually definitely up there. And then I actually thought that Anthony Mackie should have been nominated too. This movie's amazing.
There you go.
So yeah, S tier for me.
But yeah, I love JPO's comment. Ernest gets herpes. It's pretty good. Yeah.
That's good.
No, my favorite one, and I love Jim Varney, but Ernest gets lung cancer is my favorite.
Yeah, right.
Ernest smokes 2 packs a day and gets lung cancer is my favorite.
Did you know he actually went to go?
Wait, where's Ernest, the last action hero on this list?
Yeah, right. I mean,
did you know that he actually was still seeing kids in hospitals while he was going through lung cancer treatment?
Yeah, I know. It's just a bad joke.
Yeah. Those are the documentary with the lung cancer one. Yeah.
Ernest goes to the ER ward.
Yeah. Goes to the ER, but he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
But
Ernest goes to chemo.
Yeah.
Is that your smallest needle? No.
Ernest goes to radiation treatment. Yeah.
Ernest goes to Moldavia.
Anyways, the Hurt Locker. Yeah. I like the Hurt Locker. I don't know if I love the Hurt Locker. I think it's one of those movies that I think got a little overhyped at the Oscars. It was Did it win Best Picture?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I kind of think there's another movie on this list that,
Yeah.
that should have been nominated that's better than this movie. That I'm sure we'll bring up. I like it. I like it more of like a study of like PTSD and war addiction, and than I do like as a straight action movie. I think there's enough in there to warrant it. I'm gonna go like a mid A for Hurt Locker. I think it's a solid movie, but I don't know if I could go S tier for Hurt Locker.
Yeah. So I have not seen The Hurt Locker. Like, surprisingly, I have a lot of blind spots in this a part of the decade, and if I would have had more time, I would have watched some. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really watched too much by Catherine Bigelow. I mean, yeah, Point Break, obviously, but then Zero Dark 30 is pretty good, but I can't comment on The Hurt Locker. So, but
I can see you really enjoying The Hurt Locker, Jordan.
yeah, I definitely want to watch it sometimes. I love movies like that, so I'll get around to it someday. But Wolfman, what do you think?
Yes. So The Hurt Locker, to me, is really, really great. I thought that Catherine Bigelow did an excellent job directing it. Some of the war sequences, some of the like that bomb sequence where he's trying to defuse the bomb and everything, that is just intense as hell. And so to me, I think that it is one of the best, I feel like, modern war movies. So I feel like an S tier is a very fitting spot for it. Now the question is, do you guys prefer this or Zero Dark 30?
I haven't seen Zero Dark 30 since the theater. Honestly,
I haven't seen this. I've only seen Zero Dark 30. So
I
it's hard
prefer
to
Zero
compare.
Dark 30 by a hair, but this is still really good.
I prefer this one to Zero Dark 30. Both are really good. So yeah, for me, I think S tier here. And for my friend Destiny, she hates Jeremy Renner. Don't hate me for putting this in the S tier, okay? Because yeah, it's this is absolutely worth it.
Yeah,
What did Hawkeye do?
yeah. Well, Richie, what do you think about The Hurt Locker?
Yeah. I never really thought. I mean, it is, but I never really thought it like when I was like, oh, it felt like an action movie. But yeah, it's a war movie, so they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
There's action and war, but like it's just when I think of action movies, I don't really think because it's more like
You kind of forget about.
I guess
war
when
movies.
when I think of like movies that are Oscars, they don't really go for the full on action stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless it's war. So yeah, I liked it. I do remember thinking the same at the same time, like, oh, this one Best Picture. I don't know if I would have gone. I don't know if I would have gone that route either. I thought, like, in that sense, it was a bit overrated, but like I still liked the movie, so I would also go A. I don't think it's an F.
Yeah. Steven, what do you say?
So it wasn't my favorite movie of 2009, but if you remember back then, it was like for Best Picture, it was like a big race. Was it going to be The Hurt Locker or Avatar? And I'm glad this one over Avatar.
Yeah,
this
screw off with the Avatar for Best Picture. Come on.
Being real.
well, it should have been neither. It should have been Inglourious Bastards, but
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Or District 9.
or Up in the Air. Better movie.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same year that Up itself was nominated for Best
Yeah,
Picture?
Up and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up.
Up.
Come on.
Up was my favorite movie of 2009. I love it.
Yeah.
It is, though, a suitably tense movie. I think this is still probably Jeremy Renner's best performance. I wouldn't go all the way up to S tier, but I think it's a high A tier.
Yeah. It was pretty close for me and Wind River for Jeremy Renner. I like those two, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably his best performance.
Or
Yeah,
The Town.
that's
The Town for me.
Yeah. But yeah, so whatever.
So yeah, it's 2 S's and 3 A's, so an A tier for now.
A tier, okay.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Let's move it there.
But
For a minute there, I thought it took me a while to realize. I thought you said up yourself as a movie, like up yourself.
Yeah.
Was it up yourself? Like, what was that? Oh my god! Yeah,
Yeah, go up
Yeah.
yourself.
Up yourself. F up yourself.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to put it, but Austin.
Yeah, it's becoming almost a tradition in these action things to nominate a Mission Impossible movie, but I really love Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah,
I think this is where the series really took a turn as far as kind of the trajectory, excuse me, that it has kind of right now. J.J. Abrams taking over this installment from the John Woo one, which again, the John Woo one, I'll defend it. It's a good action movie, but it's not a great Mission Impossible movie. And this one gets back to being a great, both a great action and Mission Impossible movie. I think the extraction sequence at the beginning of the movie is pretty great. A lot of good tense moments. You kind of forget that Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie as kind of like the supervisor, but he's really good. And you kind of forget about that, but he was awesome. And this was the first one where we had Simon Pegg. He wasn't in the field, but he was kind of the man in the chair during this movie, palling around. But the whole team is excellent. There's a great sequence on the bridge, with the jets and everything that's really good. A great foot chase at the end. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is a fantastic villain. I mean, who would have thought that he's always been, he can play kind of a creepy guy, here and there, and he played sort of pseudo villains before this, but actually playing a really good, intimidating, threatening villain. I think he's really great. I think this movie's really solid and really kicked off kind of where we are right now with the Mission Impossible movies. I like it a lot. I think it's really underrated. So, I'll go MI3 for this year.
MI3 is really, really good. Yeah. Got a great cast. I like that. Yeah, like finally introducing Simon Pegg because he's great. I'm glad that they kept his character around. Even shout out a cameo from Aaron Paul. I think he plays like somebody's son, but I can't remember exactly what it
he's just like tooling around like this house party at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, but he's in there.
Yeah. But
I think he plays her brother, Michelle Monaghan's brother. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but I think Philip Seymour Hoffman plays a great villain, and it kind of gets the franchise back on track after Mission Impossible 2, which I don't hate either. Like, I'll defend that movie also, but just like too many weird stylized things for me that kind of threw me off on that one. But Mission Impossible 3 is great. I don't know if I would quite go S tier though. I think I have to say A tier for it, but we're getting there. We're getting back to where all the rest of the Mission Impossible could be S tier for me, but this one's A. So, Wolfman.
Yeah, I really, really love this one. Before Fallout, this was my favorite Mission Impossible movie. I really liked it that much. I thought that, I thought Philip Seymour Hoffman, I still think Philip Seymour Hoffman's the best villain in the entire Mission Impossible franchise. He's very underrated, very excellent performance. I think that this really took a more darker turn, and I really appreciated that. And all the characters are great in this. The action is very, very good in this. And I just think that, I really think that this one is truly special, and it just doesn't get talked about enough, unfortunately, because it's, to me, the second best Mission Impossible movie. So I think that definitely, I think S tier would be warranted for it.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think due to the quality of the subsequent movies after the third one, this one gets lost in the shuffle. But it's really underrated, and it's really good. It's really good. It's one of my favorite Mission Impossible movies. It's one of the only ones I own. I own it like physical media. I saw this movie. I watch it a lot, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's the best villain in the franchise. I think this movie's great. I think everything about it works. I think Michelle Monaghan's good in this movie. I love this movie a lot, and I think it needs to be talked about more in regards to when you talk about the franchise. So I'll say yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that when they finally end it, because they're getting ready to end Mission Impossible soon, that he gets to go off with Michelle Monaghan right into the sunset with her finally or something. But we'll see. But
she's
Steven?
with homeboy Wes Bentley right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
Let's see. Steven?
Steven?
This is actually my favorite of the franchise.
Right, thank you. I was about to go, and usually
You
pause
know,
in
this
case-
movie is like, all right, C tier.
D tier.
So
This is
I'm
fine.
I'm a little biased, admittedly, because one of my favorite TV shows is Alias, and Abrams got the job after Tom Cruise watched the pilot for Alias, which JJ directed. And one of the things I love about this movie is that it really feels like a big screen version of Alias. I mean, the Vatican sequence is like something out of something you could have seen, in the first couple of seasons of the show. In fact, actually, I think I remember reading somewhere that JJ said that he wanted to do the Vatican scene on an episode of Alias, but didn't have the time or the budget for it, so he did it for this movie. Yeah, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is a great villain, of course, and great cast. I mean, nobody's even mentioned that Billy Crudup is great in this movie too. So yeah, I absolutely love this movie. It's a S tier for me, for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Ross?
Yep, S tier definitely. Like for years, this one was my favorite one. And like, is this the one with Kerry Russell? Right? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This one is really good. And then like giving him giving him a protege. Like where it actually works. I love this movie. And then like and then like Philip Seymour Hoffman is actually the best villain. And then I in the whole series. And then like I remember. Like the whole I remember like Austin Arbor, and then like I remember this movie has one of my favorite villain deaths of all time. When you just see his shoe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Pretty
S tier definitely. Like, and this is my third favorite. It goes 6-5. And then this one.
Yeah. Well, this is gonna stay in the S because it's pretty overwhelming.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about who's the villain in the next one? In the next two?
No.
The guy from the first one?
Yeah, Kittredge from the first one.
We knew they were bringing him back. I just wasn't sure he was gonna have a big role or what he was gonna do. Yeah. But
all right, Jordan.
But yeah, so next one that I want to do, I'm gonna keep it on a superhero trend for me so far. So I'm gonna go with Batman Begins. I just gotta it's right there. So no, that's a Dark Knight. Batman Begins is on here.
It's in the middle. It's in the middle, right under Hulk.
I am honestly shocked no one's picked the Dark Knight yet.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, because
it could be a Robert. It could be a Robert
in
the X-Men situation.
Yeah, there's still time, but for me, I like Batman Begins even better than the Dark Knight. So I'm gonna nominate Batman Begins. It's my favorite of the trilogy, and I have a question for you guys. So that Liam Neeson, does he actually play Ra's al Ghul? Because I don't think he actually plays it. He plays a different guy, right? Because I always got confused by that. Because Ra's al Ghul is Ken Watanabe, right?
No, that was the decoy. Ken Watanabe was the decoy.
Okay, that little thing always throws me off because he's just playing a different guy. But I don't know. But
why Commander?
Yeah, but Batman Begins is great. Like I love seeing the origin story and like how he gets out of prison and then he goes up the mountain to a train, and then also having Cillian Murphy there as a scarecrow. He's a lot of fun. And then just kind of introducing the whole world. And they have the correct actor playing Rachel Dawes, Katie Holmes, because I think she did it better in my opinion. And then just introducing everyone for the first time. Michael Caine as Alfred, Gary Oldman playing Gordon. I don't know if he's commissioner yet or at this point, but and then
he's just a
lieutenant. And then Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, which is a cool character that I don't remember too much from any other Batman stuff, but I didn't read a ton of Batman, just a little bit. I was more of a Marvel guy, but I'll go S tier for Batman Begins. Yeah, I think it's great. So Wolfman.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is a really great origin story. I don't know which one I prefer more between this and and uh, The Dark Knight, but to me, I think that this is, as far as the origin story goes, this is as perfect as it gets. And I think it's one of the best Batman movies. So yeah, absolutely. I think S tier would be warranted for it.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I was probably going to bring this up eventually on the Dark Knight, and yeah, this is a great origin story. I think it's becoming underrated. I think it's one, but yeah, it's a fantastic Batman film, and yeah, it's great action set pieces. So yeah, I'll go S tier as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you think?
I think if we're only going to have one Batman movie, this is the correct one, simply because I think this one has better action than The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love this movie. It's, I think all three of Christopher Nolan's movies are among my favorite comic book movies of all time. And yeah, so I agree with S tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Ross, what do you think?
This is a very high A. Every single time I watch it, I like it a little bit less, but I still really do like it. And then I actually think it has two of the most underrated actors. Working. I mean, not most, but two underrated actors. I love it. It has the guy from Sons of Anarchy. The one that I forget his name, but the one that played Bobby, and then he plays Flash, and then and then also too. I love Tom Wilkinson as I think it's Falcone, right? Is he Falcone or Maroni?
Yeah, he's Falcone, I think, right? Yeah. So
I think the other one was Eric Roberts.
Yeah. This movie though is a little bit slower paced, which I sometimes like with this one. It gets slower every time I watch it, but I still like it. So I am happy in it in the high A.
Yeah,
Bobby from Sons of Anarchy. Bobby from Sons of Anarchy is Mark Boone Jr.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he does a lot of Nolan movies because isn't he also in Memento?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's got the long hair, in the
Yeah. I just watched him get killed by Mike Myers in Halloween 2 and Rob Zombie's too.
Nice. Well, Austin.
I disagree with Steven about the best action pieces being in this movie. I'm sure we'll talk about Dark Knight, but I don't think anything in this movie touches the convoy chase sequence of the Dark Knight, at all, in scale and execution and some of the stunt work at all. I do think there's some good sequences. I like the actual chase sequence, where he's plowing police cars and killing police officers, multiple police officers. Batman kills. He does. Sorry, he does. Nobody survives that. And to me, Wolf, you might want to mute yourself while you're playing around with that thing. It's really loud. Sorry, just a little bit. But to me, it's the color scheme of the movie that makes it hard to make out some of the stuff going on with the action sequences. The kind of yellowish orange tint that they go with, and along with the black, it doesn't work as much as the blue color sequence of the Dark Knight that makes it a little clearer to see. So while I think the action is solid, I would put Dark Knight superior to that. So for that, I would go a strong A. I still think it's really good, but I would put the other one that I'm sure will come up very shortly above it. So I'll go A.
And one of the things that kind of reminds me of, I was watching the Rings of Power, and for that series, it just seems like the whole thing shot through some kind of filter, and that makes me go back and think of a lot of movies I never really thought about that they're shot through some kind of filter, and I feel like these are you mentioned the yellow and then the blue, they're shot through some kind of filter or something like that with all the colors and different things. I mean, a lot of it lighting too, but it's kind of interesting. But yeah. But yeah, so what are the votes?
4 and 2, so it'll be in there, but yeah, we'll see where it actually places later. All right. So yeah, we'll go to, and this will probably be, we'll go around one more time, kind of as a main one, since we're it's a little late in the evening, and then we'll go to the categories after this round. So around one more time. So, Wolfman, what do you got?
Yeah, you can go with like a longer one here, and then maybe the Hail Mary could be a little longer than usual, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with an out there option. It was in the thumbnail. I don't know if it's still. I don't know if it's here because I can't really see it too well. So I guess I'll just say the name of what I wanted to pick because it was in the thumbnail. Is one of my favorite movies of all time. And another Tom Cruise movie, Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah, I think that's here. If anyone sees it, at least that.
Let's go scroll back.
Because it should be here.
Right in the middle.
There it is. Yes, near
I don't remember seeing it. Like I hope I didn't leave it off. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tropic Thunder. Okay. What do you think for Tropic Thunder?
I think absolutely S tier. This is one of the funniest comedies ever made, but it's also an action movie. If you think about, here's my motherfucking farm, and,
Yeah.
and the whole scene there, and, like everything else that happened in this movie, like like the whole shootout, and like that's going in the trailer. You know, like there's it's funny action, but there's a lot of action in this movie, and I just think this is a gold movie. I know that people are probably gonna go in the chat and complain, being like, "Oh, you support yada yada because you can't make this movie today." Well, you know, whatever. Screw you guys.
I once again, we talked about this. I disagree with that notion completely.
Yes,
you can absolutely make this movie today. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
You could.
I think so too. I think it still works today. Because the thing is, it's not in support of any of that stuff. It's a satire for a reason.
It's making fun of an actor who thinks he's so good he can play black people. His character is so arrogant that he thinks he can do that. That's the commentary about these arrogant ass actors.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why Robert Downey Jr. was nominated for Best Actor for playing a black dude.
Right. He was nominated for
Tropic Thunder. Yeah, so this is an absolutely one of the best movies of all. One of my top 30 movies of all time. I think this movie is just hilarious. I think this movie is. I'm a sucker for movies about filmmaking, and this is one of the best ones there. So.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to place this movie. I love this movie a lot. I think this movie is fantastic, and some of the action is great. I love when Steve Coogan just like character guy just like standing on a landmine, just fucking and then and then it's like that's it. But I don't know. Like when I think of Tropic Thunder, even though it is definitely action. I think of the comedy beats more so, but I don't know. I'll go A, but I do. It's one of my favorite movies on this list. But as an action movie, I'll go A.
Yeah, Steven?
I think you should bring up Malcolm's comment.
Oh no!
Where is it? Is that one?
Do we have?
I read
it. It's fine, but it's not that funny. Okay.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
But
I
you can agree or disagree with him.
Because I kind of agree with him. I think it's a great idea. There's some amusing moments when he picks up the decapitated head, thinking that it's a prop.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I will admit that. It's also been a long time since I've seen the movie, so I don't know. Maybe I should rewatch it. Maybe I'll like it more. I mean, this similar thing happened with Hot Fuzz, in which I rewatched it not that long ago and liked it more than I did when I saw it when it came out. So maybe Tropic Thunder will be the same. I hope. But C tier for me.
C. All right.
Wow.
Ross, what do you say?
If this was a comedy list, list, it would be an S tier. But this movie, I don't consider action. I consider more of it a comedy. But it is one of the best remakes of all time. Still, though, like it's still very good, though. But it's not an action movie, in my opinion. And yes, it is a
You say
remake.
remake?
Yep. Of I can see the name, The Three Amigos.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, so this movie's not an action movie in my opinion, but I still love it, because it's about these three actors, three amigos who go into this town that they think they're shooting a movie, but it actually turned out to be real.
Is it actually a remake, or is it just?
Yeah. But so what score are you giving it?
I'm saying not an action movie, but
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Austin.
Well, I think there's enough action in it to consider for the list. My thinking is more in line of Richie's, where I think we did, even when we were talking about 2000s comedies. I voted for it for S tier. I think it's an S tier comedy of the 2000s, but I don't think of it as an action movie. As far as I don't remember a lot of the set pieces of the action stuff. I remember more of the comedic beats and things like that. So if we're voting for the greatest action movies of this era, I'll go an A. I think it's strong enough, but yeah, I'm in that same boat where it's more. I think of it more as a great comedy than a great action movie, something like that.
Yeah. So, I think I'm going to give it an S tier. I love Tropic Thunder. I think that it's great, and I feel that it has enough in there that war and definitely action. It is, even if they're just making a movie about war. It's still I would still consider action, and the movie's great. There's a lot of comedic things. You could talk about the comedy stuff all day. It's definitely more of a comedy, I would say, but I still consider it action. And just for the stacked cast, the cast goes on and on and on. I'm still kind of looking forward to the Les Grossman movie we're gonna get. I think that'll be fun when that comes out. But in that movie, you could bring everyone back. You could bring even more A-list people. You could attract a lot there. But yeah, yeah. And then even some of the lesser known people, when Nick Nolte shows up, Matthew McConaughey, Owen Wilson, Justin Theroux. Yeah, they just go through Tobey Maguire, Bill Hader, and then all the main ones with Danny McBride, RDJ, Jack Black, all those guys. So yeah, and then even has one of my favorite commercial kind of parody thing with the Al Pacino stuff at the beginning is good from Brendan T. Jackson.
The Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Maguire one kills me every time.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways,
I don't care. I don't care how many times I've seen the movie. That one scene always shocks me, and I don't care. It's when I think it's Steve Coogan who steps on the mine.
Yeah, Steve
and
Coogan,
then he drinks the head. He drinks the bloody head or whatever. It's
yeah.
And hey, I look at it this way. There's your horror comedies, like Shaun of the Dead is a horror comedy, but it still has the word horror in that thing.
It's an action comedy.
So this is an action comedy. It's
yeah. So I'm gonna say S tier still. That's what I'm saying. So.
Also, Jack Black wasn't meant to be in this movie. It was meant to be Owen Wilson, but he had to pull out.
Yeah, but did you guys though get the whole thing about it almost being a remake of The Three Amigos?
I haven't seen Three Amigos in 20 years. I can't remember.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Three Amigos if they were going to war, something like that. Yeah.
No, but remember, is how they're called in for a film shoot. But
wait, isn't it more than three? Because don't they have the booty sweats guy in there? That's
yeah.
That would equal
something like
four.
That.
Because there's your Jack Black, there's your Ben Stiller, there's your Robert Downey Jr., and then there's that guy who's doing the booty sweat commercials.
Yeah, there's more than just that. Yeah, but anyways, what are the votes for?
2 S, 2 A's, a C, and a non-action. So it's probably going to be in mid A tier for now.
Yeah. I'll just put it here since there's not much in A. So yeah. But yeah, we'll go on to Richie.
Well,
You wanna
if we're
nominate?
going, if this is the last go around, I'll go for a bad. I'll go for a bad movie, then put the good movie that's on, the good movie in my Hail Marys. So if it's
Sure.
still
Yeah.
around,
Mhm.
so I think Never Back Down deserves to be an F.
Oh God, I was
movie
going to bring
sucks.
that up, Richie.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Austin gonna put that in.
I don't even see that. I know what the poster looks like.
In the S tier, right, Austin? Don't you put that in the
Jesus
S tier?
Christ. We'll talk about it.
I
I don't know. I gotta find it. You're going.
Oh yeah, it's here.
Up
There it
right.
is.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Mhm.
there's another. You went past another movie that was also belongs to the F
Whoa.
tier, but we'll get to that soon.
Whoa there,
Yeah.
I have my mouse like wigs out for a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, yeah. This movie tries to be badass. It's not. The acting is terrible. It makes you feel like an idiot for being an MMA fan. It makes MMA seem lame. Yeah, the acting's bad. Amber Heard's in this movie. She's bad in this movie. This movie sucks. It's cringe. I hate it. I was just like, I hate it. They tried to do. There's a direct DVD sequel with Michael J. White. At least Michael J. White can fight, so it's kind of better in that sense.
Yeah.
This movie is so bad. I don't know. And trust me, even if you haven't seen it, it belongs here. So
Yeah, the sequel even has Evan Peters in it, is what I'm seeing too. It's kind of weird. Yeah. But Steven, what do you think?
There are a handful of movies I have not seen, and this is one of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Ross, what do you think?
Oh, this movie's an F. I hated it. You know, like
Yeah.
this movie is just basically like a Rocky ripoff, and the only reason maybe to give it a look is actually like Jimon Hansu, even though he's a totally different movie. But still, like this movie's awful. And then like somehow they're supposed to be high school age, but they look older than me, who's 33.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I always hate when they do that. That's one of our like movie tropes. Me and Austin like
Oh yeah, that
complained
I
about
got
on
my
our
own,
podcast.
Dear Evan
Yeah, but-
Hansen, where it's like
Yeah.
they put a 30
Yeah.
high school.
But Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, Jeff Wadlow, who directed this movie, is kind of a secretly bad director. Anybody want to hear his filmography really quick and play the game?
Sure.
So he starts out with the horror movie Cry Wolf, which is a bad movie. Then he
I don't
makes.
like that one. That's weird. I don't know.
Oh my God! Stop.
it was okay.
I'll defend it.
Okay, sure. Never Back Down. He makes Kick-Ass 2, which is nowhere near as good as Kick-Ass.
It's still fun.
True Memoirs of an International Assassin with Kevin James, the Netflix movie. Truth or Dare, the really bad horror movie.
Nope, not good.
Really very bad. And most recently, the last movie I saw in the theaters before the shutdown, Fantasy Island. That movie sucks too.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
congratulations, Jeff Wadlow. But yeah, Never Back Down blows. I saw this movie in the theater. I was rolling my eyes the entire time. It is really, really cringy. And it was right when like UFC was getting hot in like 2007 with like the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, and like it was really kind of starting to come into prominence. And so like, hey, we'll make a movie about MMA, but all the MMA people are douchebags in this movie, so it makes you hate it. And there's just cringy
stupid
things where they're just like, hey bro, that boxing shit don't cut it anymore. Like a kid who can box should be able to defend himself against just about anybody. Like get that shit out of here. Like, what are you talking about? Like it makes no sense. It's really, really like bad. It feels like it should have been made in like 2001, like one of these like extreme movies, bro. Like one of these holdover bad like extreme movies. Yeah, this movie is an F. It sucks. Not good.
Too. Oh yeah, Austin, you forgot to mention something about Jeff Wadlow too, though. He wrote Bloodshot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good for you, Jeff Wadlow, I guess.
No,
that
was
tracks.
awful.
And they both came out. Bloodshot also came out like right before the shutdown.
The shutdown,
maybe he shut down movie then.
Right. Yeah, we had a Jeff Wadlow shutdown. Yeah, but
that we can all blame on Jason Voorhees, because literally, I remember the shutdown because I went to Universal on March 12th, and then right after that, it was March 12th, 2020, and then the day after, literally the day after, everything shut down.
Yeah.
And I was Friday, March 13th, 2020. So you can blame it on Jason Voorhees.
Sure.
Jason
Yeah.
Voorhees caused
Okay.
the lockdown.
Yeah. Well, I won't say too much about this because I haven't seen it, and I just heard that it was bad, and also too the way that they kind of treat MMA like fighters and like depict them. I want to have a good opinion of MMA. I don't want to have go out and see anything that's going to tarnish that because I'm just like wrestling. I'm kind of a casual MMA fan too, so I'll watch like the big events and stuff. But yeah, so I did not see this movie.
You're not
kind of purposely avoided it. Yeah.
It's basically Rocky.
But like bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Wolfman.
So I never saw this movie, but the fact that Jeff Wallow directed this, and I hated both Fancy Island and Truth or Dare, that was already enough to not sell me. Then you say Amber Turd is in this, a bed pooper, and I'm like, I don't want to see a bed pooper in here.
No.
But then it's like, but now you're saying disrespect to UFC. Guys, if you want to see a good UFC movie, don't see this. Apparently, go see Warrior. That's
Warrior, yeah.
That's a great MMA movie. So, I haven't seen this one, and I probably won't now. So, thank you for helping me to avoid it. Because otherwise, I might be like, oh, what's this movie? Never back down. And then now you guys have told me to back down from it. So,
Mike, do you know how bad it is? I'd rather watch Rocky 5 times in a row than watch
Rocky 5 leaps and bounds better. Yeah.
I liked Amber Heard and Drive Angry.
Yeah.
Right. Movie? I don't even remember that.
With her and Nicole Cage.
Yeah, and William Fichtner, who plays like the devil's right-hand man or something.
Yeah. Well, Steven, I guess you're up. You want to pick one more before the Hail Mary?
This is tough because I have two movies that stand no chance of getting mentioned in the Hail Mary round.
Yeah. Well, those are the kind of movies you want to go for here, probably. Yeah.
I'll go with Speed Racer.
All right. Speed Racer. Where's that? If anyone sees it. Oh, I got it right there. Okay. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I love this movie. It's a great family, movie about a family versus, the Goliath of a huge corporation. I love Emil Hirsch in this movie. I love Matthew Fox playing Racer X. I think visually this is a visually stunning movie. I love the action scenes, the race scenes. So this has always been a personal favorite of mine. I know it's a very divisive movie. Some people love it, some people hate it. So, but but I'm gonna shoot for S tier, even though I know it won't stay there.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Well, Ross, what do you say?
I'll put this in the B. I actually do like it. It's one of the better Wachowski efforts. It's better than Jupiter Ascending, but it's okay. I enjoy Emil Hirsch.
Saying much. Jupiter.
I know, but but my favorite movie, they did that was actually Cloud Atlas. But this one is not bad. It actually is like very, very entertaining. And then like Matthew Fox is like underrated, and then like I'm a huge Emil Hirsch fan, so I had to see it.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
Divisive is right, Steven, because I think this movie stinks. I think this movie's terrible. This is. I saw this movie in the theater, and I just remember thinking, like, who is this movie for? Like, it can't be for like 40-something-year-olds who grew up on Speed Racer, because it's kind of aimed at kids. Kids aren't going to know who Speed Racer is. Teenagers are not going to care. Who is this movie for and why? This movie's too goddamn long. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes for a Speed Racer movie. It's way too long. The visuals for me just give me a migraine. I just got a headache watching this movie. I think it's just it's a mess of CGI.
Wasn't it released in 3D, or am I wrong on that?
Maybe.
Probably.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was.
I probably saw it in 3D. I don't even remember. All the acting is. I think the acting is horrendous in this movie. Other than like Goodman, who knows what movie he's in, but it's all just a green screen mess. I hate stuff like that. So no, it's like a D. I don't like this movie. This movie stinks.
And then, like, you know why it flopped too? Though it came out a week after the Dark Knight came out.
Yeah,
yeah. Not gonna stand a chance there, but yeah. I mean, this movie's kind of interesting. Like, it's like I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Like, I think that there's some redeeming stuff there. Like, I actually really like all the visuals. Like, it remind me of like if I were to imagine like a live action Hot Wheels movie. Like, it's like Hot Wheels was like a real thing, and they're racing around on like Hot Wheel tracks in front of crowds of fans and stuff, kind of like that. But yeah, like it's kind of aimed a little more for kids probably. But I mean, I still think that it's fun. There's a lot of people that will defend this thing. I know that I can't remember what channel it was, either Campier or Collider. Somebody had a video up defending in speed racing.
Oh yeah, I've
all,
never seen that video.
points.
It was like, I think it was like the Schmoes or something like that.
Yeah. They went up. It's like all the different points of like why it's a great movie, and it made some pretty valid points. But and yeah, like even some of the actors that like I would think would be great in it just didn't really do anything. Christina Ricci or Susan Sarandon, some of those. But so yeah, I probably will give it a C. I think, and that's fair for me. So,
Wolf.
but Wolfman.
So yeah, I because I'm a youngin, I grew up with this movie. I saw this in theaters, and I remember buying the DVD. I think maybe I still have the DVD somewhere. I might be at my dad's house, but I own the DVD and stuff because I loved this movie as a kid. And then as I grew up, honestly, I don't even like remember it too well. It's like I haven't seen it in so long. But it was. But maybe if I revisit it again as an adult, I wouldn't like it as much. I do remember like I saw it as a teen and I didn't like it as much. So I wonder if what I'd think as an adult. But I'm gonna put this though under, and hear me out. I'm gonna put this under not an action movie. All right, because are we really now gonna say Ford v Ferrari is an action movie? Like that's a racing.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
Wait,
like-
no, remember though, there is the scene in the bedroom where like Racer X, there's a fight scene with Racer X.
That's okay. Yeah, that's one scene.
Still,
I don't
yeah.
know. That's one scene though, out of like a whole 2 hour and 20-minute movie. So, but everything else is just racing, and
racing is action.
So Ford v Ferrari is an action movie.
So then Mad Max shouldn't count then. You know why? Is because that's kind of a race too.
Because well, no, but Mad Max Fury Road is like they actually have a whole like he grabs guns and he starts shooting guns out at the place, and they start actually using weapons and stuff in Mad Max. This is all like still just racing. I mean, I don't know if they actually like if they do any action during the race sequences, but like Alita, for example, a race sequence that's action packed would be actually the Alita Battle Angel racing, because they're actually fighting each other while they're racing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, racing I think is like a loose version, because if you're gonna say racing, then like Herbie the Love Bug when they're racing, is that action? Like
Yeah.
what is action?
it's like,
like some is, some maybe not.
Racing is
I don't
action.
know.
Racing
know.
is action.
so Herbie is an action movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot accept that argument. I have to put
Yeah.
this as not an action movie.
Me neither.
That's
I
just
can't.
me personally. I'm gonna.
Then what about Fast and Furious?
Well, that's
Yeah.
action because it's
But that's action because it as it got along.
Really?
as it went
In that first movie, there's just street races. So is it not action?
Yeah, but they're like
Not
battling
really.
each other,
They're
kind
thieves.
of like really, yeah, and they're thieves. They're
So people aren't battling each other in a NASCAR race, battling for position?
Well, they're
I
not
think-
banging into each other and like.
Yeah, they are.
When
Like flip
I
cars
when
off
I-
the
when
road,
I think
they're
when
not
I
doing
think of
that.
action, I think of like you are actually
like because sometimes there are races where it's like, oh yeah, that person won the race, yay, congrats. But it's like I think of racing almost more as like a sport than I think action. I think it's like I think when I think of action, I think of more of like something like a fighting type thing, or shootouts, or even MMA or something like that, to where it involves like actual choreography. While I think like because there's really no choreographer to make a racing scene. So I don't know.
What are you talking about? Racing is all about choreography in movies. Races are all about they're completely choreographed step by step, just like a fight scene is. Every turn, every pass, every time somebody takes a lead, that's choreographed from beginning to end. Exactly like a fight scene is.
I think he means not like in the same way that a fight scene is, though. That
Sure, it is. They do it step by step.
Differently.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, but they're not choreographing like explosions and guns, like shootouts and all that in the racing. Sometimes, but not most of the time.
The director's like, hey, I want you to turn the wheel like this, and I want you to turn the wheel like this, and then I want you to turn the wheel like this, and then I want you to turn the wheel like this. It's like it's like that's some major choreography there, bro.
The actual choreography of the cars has to be explicit, because otherwise there will be major crashes and hurt people. That's why they're stunt drivers.
Yeah. But
I
don't know.
I mean, for in my opinion, I'm sticking with not an action movie. I do not think. I think racing is sport. Is football action, because I'm thinking racing belongs in sports. It's considered a sport. So like, I don't know. I'm gonna put racing under, because sometimes accidents happen in racing. But like if you watch an actual NASCAR race, people are just spinning around in circles, and usually it like there might be a couple cars that flip over and like action stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just cars just driving. I could drive a car around in circles, and am I making an action scene when I'm driving around in circles? It's like, there's I kind of have a hard time placing this in the action genre for me.
But would you consider, in the Fast and Furious franchise, would you consider Tokyo Drift an action movie?
Isn't there like a couple like fist fight scenes in that one, or no?
To be honest, I don't remember.
I don't even remember Tokyo Drift. That was so forgettable.
Well, you might have to start remembering it, because we might bring it up later. Anyway,
yeah. It's hard to really say, because I'm almost in the camp. Maybe Tokyo Drift isn't an action movie as far as the racing goes, but like
I will not accept that argument. Racing scenes are
totally an action movie.
They absolutely are. Yes, they absolutely are.
Well, I think it depends how you're doing it.
So Talladega Nights.
Even if you consider Speed Racer as a sports thing, you can't really say like a sports
Talladega
movie
Nights
is
not an action movie at all.
But like, you can't just say sports movie is a sports movie. Like sports movie, like it can, like it also encompasses other genres. So yes, like
Ruby's a Love Bug, not an action movie.
So there's racing in it, but it's also action. You can't I don't know. It's like sports isn't its own genre.
This is almost like the time that the freaking SAGs put The Irishman in Best Stunt Ensemble, because it had Robert De Niro kick a dude. All right, I'm not gonna accept Best Action Stunt Ensemble for Robert De Niro kicking a dude. Okay, it's like this is one of those things where it's like, if you're talking about the best action movies, I don't know. It's like I mentioned to Jordan, it's like, is Talladega Nights considered an action movie now? Or are we going?
No, it's a sports comedy. There's a difference.
But there's
a difference, because it's doing NASCAR, which is a sport. You're misunderstanding the difference between the racing stuff. Like when we're talking about Speed Racer, it's a fantasy action film. Like it's depicting a fictional sport that doesn't exist. Like it's a fantasy, like sci-fi action film. Like the same thing with these Fast and Furious movies, like Tokyo Drift. He's not doing a sport. They're racing. They're street racing. It's not a sanctioned sport. They're doing stunt driving, which is complete action. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? But you put it in not an action, so
yeah.
So But who nominated it? Like, I don't even know where we are in like
Richie still had to talk about it
Richie? Okay,
because Steven nominated.
yeah,
Steven
Richie.
nominated.
Yeah, but
Like I thought, I'll keep them short because we waste all the time. I think this movie's okay. I didn't really. I'm neither here nor there on it, so I'd probably go C.
yeah, okay. Well, what are the votes then?
S, B, 2 C's, and a D.
Okay,
So
well, maybe C then. It probably will go into C. I would think.
Or low B even maybe. I don't know. I'll give it B generous.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. Why not? But Ross, you're up.
Okay, I know mine, and then I'm gonna put it in the S tier, and then it's actually the last film to be released on VHS, which is A History of Violence. It's right next to it's in between Hellboy and The Spirit.
Where are those?
Okay, you see,
right there, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And this movie is an S tier. I love this movie. I've loved it since I saw it on DVD back in like 2005, maybe 2006, but still, and then it actually gives one of Viggo Mortensen's best performances, and then now it shows how much really of a versatile director Dave Cronenberg is, because this is the guy who did The Fly, and then he also did Eastern Promises. So yeah, and then I love movies where a guy is in hiding, and then something really has to break him out of it. Whether it's a friend coming back, asking for help, or or a family member dies. I love movies like this. And then Viggo Mortensen, and then William, I think it's William Hurt. That's really good. It's either I thought it was at first I thought it was Ed Harris, but it is William Hurt.
Well, Ed Harris is in the movie, also William Hurt. They're both in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then who's the one with the weird eye in the movie then? Because
Ed Harris, he shows up at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, Ed Harrison. Yeah. Yeah, this movie's amazing. So S tier.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know if this would get brought up or not because I didn't know if enough people have seen it, but I think this movie's excellent. It's one of my favorite Cronenberg movies. I've championed this movie a lot. I've shown it to a lot of people, and everybody's kind of blown away by it. When I show it, it's a really great story about this guy who's trying to live this low life in this little town and has this kind of mobster background. He's kind of a hitman, and it kind of explodes in the small town, and he's really great. There's some excellent sort of explosive, really brutal scenes of action, like some brutal fight sequences and really brutal gun battles, and just really kind of gory violence at some points. But yeah, I dig this movie a lot. Yeah, you know what? I'll go S tier for A History of Violence. I think this movie.
And then the stairs scene.
Well, that's not an action scene, but it's a good scene.
It's my fault.
And you say and
Different
whenever
it's a different kind of great scene, but it's a different scene.
I was going to say a different type of action.
Yes, yeah. Steamy action, yes.
Yeah.
See, now that's
different
action.
Some action, yeah. But so I haven't seen A History of Violence, but with one that was on my list. I would have had just a little more time is one I was going to try to squeeze in, but I just didn't have enough time. So I'll get to it. It's one that's high on my list that I really want to see. I'm a big Viggo Mortensen fan, and I like that it's based on a comic book. So yeah,
and plus it also was the last VHS too ever produced. Wow,
nice. Yeah. So, but yeah, Wolfman.
Yeah, and the comic is really good too. I recently got around to reading the comic because
nice.
I've seen the movie a couple times, and I was really blown away by it. So I was like, you know what, I should read the comic too. So I picked that up recently. Yeah, this is David Cronenberg's you're the horror guy, Austin. Tell me if I'm right. This is David Cronenberg's only non-horror movie.
No, Cosmopolis. Couple of movies. Yeah, Eastern Promises.
Okay.
Yeah. He went into non-horror territory in the 2000s. Yeah.
Okay. So so he's done a few other non-horrors, but he's mostly familiar with horror. So this is more of his segue out of that. Whenever he started doing those films and then this, but he does an excellent job here directing it, and it's a little bit there's still the gore that you know from Cronenberg. There's still that intense violence there that you know from Cronenberg, but it's also really different for him. It's much more of an emotional kind of character study, which is really well done. Well, I guess you could say like The Fly is as well too, but that's kind of still like different than this was. And yeah, I thought Vigo did an excellent job. I think everyone here is excellent, and yeah, it's one of the. I'm so glad someone brought it up because yeah, this is one of the better movies. So it definitely belongs in S tier.
Sounds
Eastern
good.
Promises also is really good, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. I haven't seen any of his other non-horror movies. I've only seen History of Violence. So
Yeah.
Me and my dad made a funny comparison about Eastern Promises. Mike, do you remember how many headshots were in The Departed, right?
yes. Yeah. I remember.
As many headshots in The Departed, there's as much throat slits in Eastern Promises.
Oh, geez.
Okay. Nice. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't own a lot of I don't have like a whole lot of physical media, but I do own History of Violence on the DVD, not VHS, but that would have been cool. It's a great movie and it's a very underrated, very underrated comic book movie. So yeah, it was on my. I was just compiling my Hail Marys and it was on here, so I'll say yes, dude.
Yeah. Steven, what do you think?
I'm struggling with this one because
Oh,
I
no.
think it's really good,
Oh, good. Okay.
but I don't really consider it to be an action movie either.
Yeah.
It is, but
It
that's,
is, oh,
you know,
there's a lot of
I've never seen it.
More of an action movie than Speed Racer. But
As an action movie, I'll go with A.
Yeah. That's fair.
that's it.
Yeah, so what are the votes at?
4 S's and an A.
what
All
I'd
right,
say,
so
I'd,
first
say,
day in that.
I'd say it's even more of an action movie than Children of Men, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, too.
Yeah.
Like some people, I've actually heard this argument. Like if it has a gun on the cover, then it's an action movie. I'm thinking no, it's because Blood Diamond and then Constant Gardener both have guns on their posters, and those are not action movies at all.
Yeah. Well, Austin,
Yeah.
what do you want?
I guess I'll just bring up one that I don't know if it'll get brought up in the Hail Mary, so I guess I'll just try to make a case for it. I'm going to talk about 2008's Rambo.
Okay.
Um,
I know it's somewhere here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I see it. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. This is actually my favorite Rambo movie. I think this movie fucking rules. I love where this movie starts with Rambo just kind of living this recluse life in this village. Just kind of being this like hunter and kind of gatherer for this little village. He's really great, and he gets roped into this sort of missionary journey. And for me, what makes the action great is that there's a slow escalation of the action throughout the movie. You get quick spurts of it when they get encountered by the other boat to show that he still has the quick skills and he still got that killer instinct. You get the guerrilla sequence where he's just like doing all the stealth kills, sneaking around the camp, kind of taking out people and then rescuing everybody. And then there's obviously this giant, insane, 20-minute finale where he just mounts a 50 cal gun and mows down hundreds of people, and it's amazing. I think this movie, on a straight action level, is probably one of the best ones on this list. I think it's extremely well choreographed. Stallone does a great job directing it. I think it's one of the best depictions of his character, and I love the ending of this movie. And it was a perfect ending, and we did not need Last Blood because this was a perfect ending of home right after this. So much like Toy Story 4, Last Blood was not necessary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Rambo because I think this movie fucking kicks ass, and it's not too long. It's like 90 minutes. It's great. It flies by. Good stuff. It's my favorite one.
Well, you know me, I defend Last Blood. I think it's like a fun addendum kind of thing. I kind of see it like that kind of like what's Rambo up to all these years later. But for this one, this Rambo 2008. I remember I went and saw it with a friend of mine. I saw it in theaters because we were just bored one night. We're looking for something to do, and we're like, oh, there's a new Rambo movie we didn't even know, and so we went and I checked it out. I think that it's fun for me. Like, I'm not a huge Rambo fan. Like, I don't really rank any Rambo movie higher than an A. I just don't. But this one, like, I like it, but we sure spent a lot of time on that boat, just sitting on the boat, like forever. Like, maybe like Sylvester Stallone was just getting older, couldn't do as many like stunts. I don't know what it was, but like he just stays there with the bow and arrow, with the big gun, with all that stuff. Kind of like he doesn't want to get back into it. But there's kind of reasoning, like for his character, he is like doesn't really want to be like thrust back into war and like do any of that. But he kind of like just does like get thrust back into it, whether he wants to or not. And so yeah, I still think that's fun. Yeah, like it's actually one of the out of all the Rambo movies, one of the better ones that I like better than most, despite him just staying in the boat most of the movie. But I'll give it an A. Yeah. So Wolfman.
But hey, what was worse? Rambo staying in the boat for almost the whole movie, or Jason staying in a boat for pretty much the entire runtime of Jason Takes Manhattan?
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, I am definitely a fan of this one. I agree with Austin that this should have been the last one. This is feels like the epic conclusion of it all. And it's also just a good wrap up of Rambo's story. And so I think that this is probably while Rambo First Blood's like my favorite Rambo movie, I think this is the best depiction of the Rambo character that we had was in this movie. So I think I'm gonna definitely go with I would put it more though in A tier, because to me I don't really think that any Rambo movies in the S tier. That's just me personally, but yeah. But yeah, I would put it in A.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie?
Yeah, this is like the only Rambo movie I've really seen, other than the first one. I remember watching this in the theater. But yeah, I did enjoy it. But yeah, it didn't really stick with me. Like I did like some of the action though, and like some of the action was pretty nice and intense. But because it didn't stick with me as much, I'll go B.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you think?
I think I've said this before.
Oh, jeez.
What's going on?
You're just getting a bad echo or something like
good.
that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We can hear you all right. You just
really?
echo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I've said this before.
Ooh. Yeah.
But First Blood, I think, is excellent, but it's also like the only Rambo movie that I would consider to be really good. The last half hour of the movie is really cool, but it takes a long time to get there. Also, tonally, I think this movie feels off because it kind of wants to go for the seriousness of the first one with the cartoon action of the sequels. Because you have scenes where children and women are being slaughtered, and I don't know. I just felt like those kinds of sensibilities clashed. So I'd probably go with, the last half hour does kind of save the movie, but I would probably still go with C tier.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
I know it's not as good as Speed Racer, but good God Almighty.
Yeah. Well, Steven, your microphone sounds like you have the Charlie Brown teacher in the background. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. But it's all right. We can still hear you.
It was working fine until now, right?
What's been the worst thing what's been the worst thing so far? You said the Rainbow and C saying that Casino Royale was overrated, or saying Tropic Thunder is not funny.
The Casino Royale thing. Come on.
The Casino Royale.
Casino Royale is an expense here.
Well, the original Casino Royale is an F. The original Casino Royale is an F, but the new one is good.
Yeah.
B tier is still pretty good. I would consider
yeah.
that to be more of a warm take than a hot take because a B is
Yeah.
still pretty good.
Yeah, like Tomorrow
Yes.
Never Dies is like a B James Bond movie. You know?
Yeah.
Well, Ross,
Okay,
What do you-
I hate.
what do you think here for
I'm
Rambo?
joking. I'm joking. Rambo is an S tier. It's either my first or my second favorite Rambo movie because I do love Rambo Part 2. But yeah, I love I love the scene where like he actually like chops the guy's head off, and then he's like mowing down guys with that like 50 caliber. And I actually, like, funny enough, this was actually the second Blu-ray that I bought because I bought it along with Cloverfield. So, like when I got my PS3 as my graduation present from high school. So yeah, I've always had a special part for this movie. And like, I didn't even see Last Blood because I heard it was that bad.
No,
It did not deserve
not
the
horrible.
noms.
No. I actually like Last Blood. I think it's a fun, really hard R adult.
Well, though,
Home
like,
Alone.
I know this critic though who put it as their worst of the year. Guess who did it? I won't say the name. I'll just do the voice. Hello, everyone.
Oh boy.
Scott Mance.
I
don't know who.
It has a female.
Grace Randolph. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Grace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, what are the votes?
2 S's, 2 A's, a B, and a C.
So it's like all over the place.
Yeah.
Maybe,
low A, maybe bottom A, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Mhm.
But so for my last pick, I want to shoot for something I'm sure probably no one's going to agree with, but for whatever reason, this movie, it just kind of hits me, and I actually really like it. But I'm going to go with this Vin Diesel movie. Surprisingly, this movie Babylon AD. I'm just shooting for it because we're for the
Jordan.
No, the movie's actually like a lot of fun. With the post-apocalyptic world that they create, and then you have Michelle Yeoh in there that is a fun character, and just him. He's been exiled from the United States, and he has to take this little girl back from like Kazakhstan or somewhere like in the Middle East, and trying to sneak back into the United States and get her back to her sister, who's her only surviving guardian or living relative to New York City, and so like how he goes on this thing, and that's some pretty fun action scenes, I think, and just like all the little contact points he has to make. Like, say what you want about Vin Diesel's other movies outside of this. I think this is like, besides Fast and Furious, like this is that and Saving Private Ryan. Besides those two, then like this is my next one that I go back to like quite a bit actually. So I'm gonna find it here. I don't know if
Find Me Guilty is
anyone knows
also
what the cover
really
looks like.
good.
But it's kind of
Room.
let's see.
Find Me Guilty.
Oh,
is
yeah.
really good though.
If I can find it anywhere.
I actually liked Knockaround Guys.
Does anyone see it?
No.
See the.
Oh, it's in the middle under 10.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
yeah. There it is. Yeah. So like I kind of figured no one would really agree with me, but like me and my ex-wife, we watched it a lot, and so like we have fun with it. But what the frick did it just? Oh, like let's skip to the other side. Okay. So yeah, like I'm gonna say S tier just to kind of shoot high. I know probably no one's gonna agree with me, but like,
Austin's cracking up. Austin's cracking up.
That's fine. You got to shoot your shot before the Hail Mary round. This is
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I respect your optimism there.
Yeah, I do.
If you don't like it though, I'd like to kind of know like what specifically you don't like. So, but
Okay.
Oh, we'll be happy to do that.
and not to just say, oh, it's a bad movie, bad acting, or something, you know, like. But
Well, that's part of it.
yeah, but
Well, I mean, to be fair, Vin Diesel is a bad actor, so it's going to have some bad acting.
like
I
I don't think that he's terrible. Like I don't know. Like there's some movies of his that I defend.
Mike, did you ever see Find Me Guilty?
Saving Private Ryan's like his best performance, and he
No.
Like I even defend The Last Witch Hunter slightly.
Mike, have you ever seen though? Find Me Guilty? He does a really good job in that.
I've never seen
His
that.
best performances are when he doesn't say hardly anything, like Iron Giant and Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway.
Yeah.
I thought he was good in Boiler Room.
We didn't say a lot in this either. Like honestly, but But Wolfman, what do you think?
So yeah, this is really the first time I ever even hearing this movie. So I've actually can't really vote on this because I've not seen it. So, but if all of you guys agree with Jordan, then that means I'll have to definitely check it out. So
I don't know if they're gonna agree, but Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, and I like look. I respect your optimism, Jordan. You got to shoot your shot on this. There are movies that I like, other people don't, and this movie bored the piss out of me. This movie's boring. This is a slog to get through. It's not even that long. I just was not a fan.
Not that long. That's a positive.
And I was just like, I don't know. It was just like, I don't know. Vin Diesel is like, I feel like I'm glad like it didn't do well because it would have been a franchise. It's like, I don't know. I feel like Vin Diesel is good in certain roles, not in this role. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I'll do. I won't say F, but I'll say I'll be generous. I'll be generous and say C.
Well, as far as like post-apocalyptic movies go, I like this better than any of the Riddick movies for me. But yeah. Steven, what do you think?
I haven't seen it since it was in theaters. I just remember thinking that it felt like a really like the poor man's version of Children of Men.
Yeah.
Except we know Austin likes it more than Children of
Men. But set like way in the future, yeah. Like even more than that, Children of Men, bro.
So I would probably go D tier for that.
Okay. All right. Ross?
This movie's boring. It's not great, but the best part about it is actually Charlotte Rampling, it was impossible for her to give a bad performance. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in the D. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's certainly not the best. Mike, you know who Charlotte Rampling is, right? You remember the movie 45 Years?
Oh, yeah.
Her. She's in this movie.
Wow.
All right. Well, Austin.
Yeah, this movie's a mess. A big giant mess. I know it was cut to hell by the studio as well. I do know that, but whatever. We got what we got. It's one of the most cliche like escort character A from point A to point B. Like the most basic thing ever. The action scenes are shaky cam, like messy garbage. Like I can't tell what the hell's going on half the time. It's poorly directed. And yet Diesel is like just being tough guy, flex muscle, rinse, repeat, over and over again, and then make bad jokes. I think this movie kind of stinks. And I respect your optimism, Jordan, but this movie shouldn't.
I think it's a cool word they create.
Yeah. And there's like nothing explained. I could go on, but yeah, it's. Jump in. Don't give you anything.
What is worse, this or Children of Men, Austin?
I don't want to watch either. I think I'd rather eat dead fish.
Well, we got Richie's generous C, so maybe it can stay in C. I don't know, because an S and a C and then some D's, maybe.
If you want.
I don't know. Yes, I do.
If you want,
let's see.
Yeah, you can put C. Be a very low C. Be C minus.
Sure, yeah. Well, it's fair. I had to shoot my shot for one. I wanted to pick one kind of one that I knew everyone wouldn't agree with. So, anyways, but Hail Mary, we can go to Hail Mary now.
Yeah.
So we got a lot left. So I'm just telling you, I'm gonna have a lot.
Should I put a cap on it like I did the one episode?
No, do not.
No. Wait a minute. Wait. We started this show, and you're like, I don't know if there's going to be enough. Now you're like, I got a ton of movies I got to talk about.
Okay, here's the thing. There is and there isn't, because like you get stuff like Doom, you get stuff like Resident Evil, you get stuff like Underworld, you get
Well, the thing is though,
Skull. Like there's a lot of those movies on here.
Shitty movies. But
the thing is though, about that. Like what I was saying at the beginning is we don't have a lot. we don't really have a definitive 10. Like there's a lot like you have to kind of think about. For me personally, like the more that I look at like some of these, I'm like some of these actually you could make a case for it. Like a lot of them actually. So
Yeah,
it's not
I
a
can
definitive
see
10 for me.
I'm looking at
Like, the
one
more you
right
think
now
about
that could actually win the whole thing, and I'm being serious.
Yeah,
too.
I'm looking at. Yeah, same. There's like 2 at least, but yeah.
All right.
I mean, I can try to keep it to like 10, but it's gonna be at least that many. So, but
All right.
well, are you running the Hail Mary, Austin, or what?
Yeah, I'm prepping the names real quick.
Okay.
And, I'm
Okay.
writing out my and I gotta find mine really quick too. So before I start getting everybody else,
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me just write mine.
Well, I'll
down.
just say like for the most part, refer to the list Austin sent you, because I'm gonna be looking at my list while you guys talk. I may not be scrolling as much, so refer to that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And all right. I think I got mine, so I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me double check one last time. Yeah, I think I'm all right. Okay, so I got mine, so I'm ready as far as that goes.
Okay.
I don't know where Wolfman dropped out to.
Oh, Wolfman just right when he was at the pit.
We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back. Yeah, he would
Come
have
back.
been
All
first.
right, Richie, what do you got?
Yeah.
Cool. I got 10. Taken.
Okay.
Ip Man.
Okay.
Constantine. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
All right.
Tokyo Drift. Cloverfield. Dead Man's Chest, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Serenity. War of the Worlds. Star Trek. And The Incredible Hulk.
All right.
You're not the only one with a lot. See?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Wolfman was back, by the way, I think.
Yeah, hang on.
Said he was. I don't know if he is. He said he was.
So,
yeah.
Austin, I blame you. Your list kicked me out. I just can't. I was trying to check your list, and while I did it, I hit the X button by accident.
Oh.
Okay. Check your list, but
You have your Hail Marys ready? We could do yours real quick.
I'll do it. Since I'm the Tarantino guy, I'm gonna say Death Proof. I'm also gonna say Planet Terror, because you got to have both Grindhouse in there. 300 for my Zack Snyder representation there. Kung Fu Panda. I think that one's just. I think that's really fun. Revenge of the Sith. District 9. The Dark Knight. And then Sin City. I think those are the ones I'll go with.
All right. Okay. Steven?
Star Trek. I will second Star Trek. I will second Taken.
Okay.
I will second Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
I will second The Dark Knight. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
All right.
The Bourne Ultimatum.
Oh, I forgot one.
Wanted.
Okay.
And Assault on Precinct 13.
Okay. All right. Ross?
Okay, Four Brothers,
Oh yeah, that's good.
Let's go with the really shitty one, The Spirit.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see.
I admire your spirit, Ross.
District 9,
Okay.
Transformers, Public Enemies, and then scroll down so I can see more. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I was just in another app for a second to write mine down, but it's okay.
Okay, sure, yeah. And
I'll come
then
down.
let's go with Snakes on a Plane, Hancock,
Mm.
and then War of the Worlds.
I'll second Four Brothers as well. I forgot about that one. So
Okay.
Have you guys ever seen the TV edit though of Snakes on a Plane?
Yeah.
Wait, are we allowed?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to add like second ones that we like?
If you forget one, yeah, you can go ahead.
Because I forgot Born Ultimatum. I do want to throw that in. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go Dark Knight, Revenge of the Sith, War of the Worlds, Ip Man, Tokyo Drift, 300, Star Trek, and Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to whittle this down. I just made my list. It's 17 movies, so I'm gonna whittle that down now.
You gotta whittle that down, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will.
Just to let you know though, I would put The Spirit as an F. I'm not putting that anywhere near S.
Well, we're only doing S and A's, Ross.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
then sorry, take The
Yeah.
Spirit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody was going to second it anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll just edit it as I go, not mention some of the like ones I'm not as passionate about. But I'll say Sin City. I'll say Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. Taken.
Oh shoot! Is that Watchmen on this?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to add Watchmen. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to add Watchmen on here.
Let's see. Then I'll say Tokyo Drift just because it was mentioned. No, why not? I'll say Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Sorry, I'm trying to go a little slower for you. I'll say Star Trek. The Bourne Ultimatum. I'll go with District 9. And I Am Legend. I'll throw in there, and then I'll just say this one. You don't have to write it down because I know no one's gonna agree. But I really like the movie Push. I would have nominated that. That's like a guilty pleasure movie for me. But yeah, yeah,
Is that the one with Chris Evans?
yeah. But they have some kind of powers. And like
I can see one of the worst like TV adaptations of all time on there too.
What?
Miami Vice. Do you know why it's so bad?
Yeah.
It
Because the
assumes
movie
that you know
sucks.
everything about the TV show.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So you guys got to give me a minute to check on
Yeah.
So
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but
So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be with you in a moment.
yeah, you take another look at.
A lot of movies. A lot of movies.
Yeah, I really need to see a history of violence. That's high on my list of my
It's
blind spots.
really good.
Yeah.
And then now you'll have to add Children of Men on there just to piss off us.
Yeah. Might watch some I don't know if I'll watch.
I have a sneaky suspicion Jordan would not like Children of Men.
Yeah.
I
Probably
just
so.
knowing his sensibilities, I don't think he'll like it.
But slow if it has like not that much.
He doesn't
action,
like pretentiousness, and that movie's pretentious.
Yeah, I don't like
So-
pretentiousness. I don't like
Yeah.
If it has no humor, if it has none of that, like I can't do it.
Let's see, hang on.
So Schindler's List is a bad movie. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not a bad movie. Like Schindler's List is good, but
There's gonna be like when I do my top movies, there's gonna be very few that you would be like. I have a couple on there like Tropic Thunder I mentioned and other ones, but like
Like Midsommar.
most of mine are like gonna be like pretentious kind of artsy.
I actually love Midsommar though. That was in my 132. Yeah.
Like me though, like I'm gonna have a lot of like nostalgia stuff on mine too, like and a lot of ones that people probably haven't heard of. Like I actually have this like underrated Brendan Fraser movie on there too.
Did you hear Brendan Fraser got a standing ovation for
with
the
honors?
I heard.
With honors.
Yeah, for like 6 minutes is what it was.
Like he was brought to the brink of tears. And everyone was like,
"All right,
yeah.
I think I'm ready." Okay, so 1, 2.
All right.
9, 6, 7. All right, 13 movies. Let's whiz through this.
All right. All right, here we go.
All right, so strictly grades is all I want.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll go in the same order each time. We'll just start with Wolf and go up the ladder. Sin City. Wolf.
I will say I. How are we doing this? Am I saying I? Yes. What are we doing?
What? You're giving it a grade.
You're saying.
I'm giving you a tier. Okay, I thought you were like saying, okay.
We go around and everybody, all the crossovers get ranked. We just go around and everybody gets a grade. Yeah.
All right. Sin City, I would put that in S. I think that's worthy.
Yeah. Richie.
A. Might be your first tier ranker, yeah. So that's fine. But.
Steven.
A.
Ross.
F.
B.
And I'll say S.
So 3 S's, 2 A's, and a B.
Now we got to find them all. Like I should be finding it while you're voting. I'm sorry, but let's hear.
So it's near Forbidden Kingdom, yeah.
Yeah. So you said 3 S's and then what, 2 A's,
and a B. Yeah.
So it's probably barely like maybe in S. Like I don't know. Like
but it's gonna get knocked out pretty quick. I have a feeling about that. High A. It's gonna get knocked. Right. It will. You watch.
Usually 3 S's gets it in. But...
Hey, Mike, did you see the 4K I sent you of the movie on the list?
No. Which one?
310 to Yuma.
Oh,
Ross. I appreciate that, but we got to get through this. I got 12 more movies. All right, sorry. Yeah. All right. So next is Bourne Ultimatum, Wolfman.
So yeah, for me, I love all the Bourne movies. I think that they're all like
5 seconds or less. I just want to grade. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going quick here.
We got to get this is Hail Mary round. We got to go quick. Richie.
A.
Okay. Steven.
S.
Russ.
A.
B.
And I would say S. So we're
same as Sin City.
Where is
right in the middle under Street Fighter?
Oh, it's that one. Oh, that's It's hard to read. So yeah, the same thing. So cool. Put it up here. Right there. Okay.
All right. So
all right.
Next is Taken. Wolfman.
Taken.
This is like B for me.
Okay. Richie.
S.
Steven.
S.
Ross.
A.
I'll go A.
And I'll say A. I'm not seeing it though.
On the left side under Zathura.
Yeah, it's near the Salt Phoenix, I think.
It's Zathura.
All right, so
he didn't make the same damn movie every time, it'd be higher.
2 S, 3 A's, and a B. So mid A.
So yeah, like mid A.
Ooh, Apocalypse.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Next will be Revenge of the Sith, episode 3. Wolfman.
I would put that in A.
Richie.
B.
Steven.
S.
Ross.
B.
Go S.
And I'll say S. So
another one
that's
kind of in Sin City Bourne territory. 3.
Okay.
1, 2. Yeah, because I just feel like some of these are going to get 4 S's at least, and they're going to be above those. That's the only reason I'm saying that, Jordan. So yeah, they'll probably get bumped anyways.
We'll see. Yeah.
There's some coming up that will. I'm pretty much guaranteed. So next will be 300. Wolfman.
S.
Richie.
A.
Steven.
C.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Jesus.
Ross.
A.
S.
Well, I'm kind of with Steven this time. C for me.
Oh,
I thought you hadn't seen it.
No, I've seen it. Well, I saw it in theaters, but I saw it. But I'm still trying to find it though.
disappointment.
300.
You never get no love around here.
Well, if there's a better movie, it might.
It's a great movie.
I'm not seeing it. No, the 300 is kind of prominent on the poster.
Oh, on the right
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
There we go. But what are the votes?
It's like low A at best. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next is Tokyo Drift. Wolf.
Oh, D.
Wow. Richie.
I'll go A.
Steven.
B.
Ross.
C.
Seeing it is.
Oh man.
It's because Fast 9 ruined it.
Oh, okay. Tokyo Drift is an S.
Oh my! Get the fuck
Yeah.
out, dude! Get the
Fucking great.
fuck out of here!
It's fucking awesome.
No, you're.
On the right side, right column under transporter, by the way.
Oh yeah. I don't know. This one's borderline for me. Just to bump it up, I'll say S. It's a low S, but I'll say S.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I am living in
I think
crazy
it's awesome.
stuff
Yeah.
now.
Because it's got some of the best races of the series, and it's simple.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
it's
the-
the second worst of
It's a
the
simple
like,
story. It's
third-
not this
third-
No,
like
I mean, I think you mean second best, but I get what you mean.
it's not a convoluted superhero movie.
Right behind Too Fast, Too Furious. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
right behind
But-
it's right behind F9 and F8 for like the worst. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what are the votes?
Second best
We got
it's
got a
like around B
got a couple
tier.
S's.
Yeah. It's like around B tier.
Or no,
Okay.
Too Fast and Too Furious, and then it's behind F9. Those are the
Too
two.
Fast, Too Furious was under our best of the early 2000s.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's one of the worst
I love
Fast and
Yeah.
Furious movies.
Too Fast, Too Furious fucking rules.
Too Fast. Yeah, like we gotta have Tokyo Drift make it if Too Fast and Too Furious made it, but it didn't.
Anyway, next is District 9.
Yeah,
Wolf.
District 9, I would put that in the A tier.
Richie.
A.
All right. And Steven.
A.
Ross.
F.
I kind of want to say not an action movie, but I don't remember any action in it.
There's some.
I don't remember a single action set piece in that movie.
We can't
Not an
say it.
action
It's
movie.
up to you.
Not an action movie. Not an action movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say S. So
All right.
So
Two
what are
S's,
the votes?
3 A's. Yeah.
a mid A probably.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Next will be the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. Wolfman.
I'll say B.
Richie.
A.
Steven.
A.
Ross.
A.
I'll say S.
And I'll say A, but that trailer that we watched the other night, Austin, that's an S. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watched a really cool trailer the other night, but
Mhm.
yeah, so
On the right side. Right
right
side under
there.
Eagle Eye. Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's like
what are the
mid-A.
votes?
Eagle Eye's not bad though. Eagle Eye's not a
Okay.
bad movie either.
no,
That's
it's not horrible. It's all right.
All right. While he's doing that, Jordan can then look for At World's End, which had 2 crossovers. So Wolfman.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say low A for Outro's End.
I mean, for some reason I don't remember having a poster for that, but
It's there.
maybe
I
do.
saw it.
Okay,
Scroll down.
let's hope it is.
Yeah, I remember seeing
Yeah,
it.
that's what.
And man's chest is in the middle, right there.
Right there.
saw it.
Right underneath the siding.
Is it?
Oh yeah, on the left corner, left column,
Yeah.
the white poster.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. when you said at World's End, I thought you were like thinking of the Simon Pegg Nick Frost
No,
movie, like
at
World's End.
World's End.
I'm like World's End. I don't remember even like getting a poster for that. I don't think that's right.
That like
right
came
decade.
out way after
Yeah,
way after
yeah, way after. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
All right. Richie?
Anyways,
That was B.
Steven?
It was in my top 64. I love it. S.
Ross?
C. Too damn long.
ooh, man, you guys are harsh.
I'll go C. That movie's boring.
Oh, come on. S. Absolutely an S. Easy. Like when they fight all those Asian guys over in Singapore, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it takes 3 hours to get there.
Well, I wish it would have taken 4 hours because this was great. To keep it going. Right? But
especially compared to On Stranger Tides and the last one. Yeah.
But what are the votes? We got at least 2 S's. But
2 S, A, B, 2 C's.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it maybe a low A because the 2 S's bring it up, and another A vote. So I'll just throw it there.
Yeah. 4 more. I've got War of the Worlds. Steven Spielberg. Wolfman.
Yeah, I would say that this is a low A.
Richie.
S.
Steven.
B.
Ross.
A.
War of the Worlds is an S. The action in that movie's fucking some of the best Spielberg's ever done.
I think it's C for me. Just because I even preferred the original War of the Worlds over it.
Oh,
So.
what? Okay.
The original one's awesome, like for its time.
It's right in the middle under or right next to Assault on Precinct 13.
Keyword being for its time.
Right above Indiana Jones.
Right there. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. War of the Worlds. Okay. So what are the votes here?
2S, 2A, B, and a C.
Okay. So mid A. Yeah. All right.
Next will be Donnie Yen's Ip Man. Wolf.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh, okay. I'll say for action itself, I'll say A.
Richie.
For action itself, I'll say S.
Yeah.
Steven.
Haven't seen it.
Ross.
Haven't seen it.
It's an S for fight choreography. Yeah.
Yeah, for the movie, we're all S. Yeah. So that one, all S's for people that voted, or no? There's A.
Three S's and an A, so it's borderline. It's kind of.
And I'd be willing to try and vote to an S.
Sure. Yeah. So if he changes his vote, that might go in the S. Might be the
if
very
he's
end
changing
of
it officially, yeah, then 4 S's, sure.
Yeah. I mean, he did it before I placed it. So.
Well, it all depends on what's. I don't know. It all depends on what's next. I'll keep it in A for right now.
All right. Well,
okay.
Your mind before we go to the next.
A or S? I need answer right now. Sorry.
All right. A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if it's that, then it's kind of like right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 4 Brothers. Wolf.
I have not seen this one, so I can't say.
All right, Richie.
I don't know if the cover.
A.
Steven.
B.
Ross.
A.
I'll go B.
And I'll say B.
So yeah, it's B
Go to
tier.
the votes.
B tier.
Okay.
And I saved it for last. Dark Knight.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Over on the left side under Mummy. Yeah.
The only one that's gonna.
Yeah. So Wolfman. It's under Mummy right in the second row.
S.
Next to Iron Legend.
S.
Oh yeah.
for
Okay. There.
Superman. Even though it's Batman. But,
All right.
S.
Richie.
S.
Steven.
S, even though I like Batman Begins slightly more.
Yeah.
Russ.
S, even though that my favorite of the trilogy is actually Dark Knight Rises. But yeah, S.
Oh wow,
That's
I thought
what
it was
you
the
agree
only
with Steven.
I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
I'll go S.
I'll say S, but I do like Batman Begins better, but I give both those movies an S. So.
All right. So it's a sweep.
It's a sweep, yeah. So
That's
surprising
why
someone
I
didn't bring it up sooner.
That's why I left it for last.
That's why I didn't give it to it.
Probably because I brought up the
Yeah.
Batman Begins, and everyone's like, "Oh, then they didn't bring it up." Yeah.
I forgot about King Kong. That would have been an S for me. I love that movie so much. It gets better.
Oh yeah, that I should have mentioned that. Yeah, King Kong is awesome.
Sorry, I fell asleep just thinking about the first hour of that movie.
Yeah, same. I'm sleeping.
It's character development.
Yeah.
Character building.
All right, so
All
right, so we gotta
development.
all right, got to go back to the votes here. See what we got. The only clean sweep of the night coming in last minute. Dark Knight, six S's. The only one. We had a lot of near misses. Yeah.
Wow.
The next ones with 5 and 1. There are a couple, so we might have to vote. Crank, 5 S's and an A. Surprisingly enough, we have Iron Man, 5 S's and an A. We have, let's see, Mission Impossible 3, 5 S's and an A. Is up there. We have kind of right behind that would be Casino Royale with 5 S's and a B.
Okay.
Hot Fuzz has 4 S's and a B, so kind of pretty close to it. V for Vendetta, 4 S's and an A. So
so that might go up.
Maybe above Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see, Batman Begins, 4 S's and 2 A's, so probably above Die Hard. So at least gets screwed up a little bit.
And maybe above Hot Fuzz. I don't know. Like it's there's 4 S's and a B.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, a little bit. History of Violence, 4 S's and an A, so above Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
Yeah.
Come on, Hot Fuzz, you got to hang in there.
And this is where it gets a little dicey because this is where we got to start making decisions because Live Free or Die Hard is right on the border with 3 and 3, with 3 S's, 3 A's. And then the ones that are close to that are kind of the ones we talked about, like Sin City has 3, 2, and 1, so slightly below that. Same with Bourne Ultimatum with 3, 2, and 1, exactly the same as Sin City. And then episode 9 episode 3, excuse me, 3, 1, and 2. 3, 1, and 2. So right behind there, kind of where it is. Ip Man, 3 and 1, so only 4 votes overall, but it's close. Very, very
Might
close.
be above Revenge of the Sith, maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
Possibly. It's hard to tell because there was more overall votes for Star Wars, so it's hard to tell. We may have to vote on that. We may have to see. And then stuff like Hurt Locker was. Gonna go back to Hurt Locker. Where was it?
Taken too. I feel like that could have been up there.
Taken was 2, 3, and 1, so it's not in contention.
Okay.
Not quite. It's gonna be. Where the hell was History of Violence? Or not History of Violence. Where the hell was Hurt Locker? Hurt Locker. Oh, 2 and 3. So yeah, not quite. Kind of in that same area where it is right now. So yeah, everything else was kind of split all around. So really our top 10 is kind of going to be those movies right there, and the honorable mentions will be out of those 4. Those first 4. So what's that?
Do we need to vote on maybe the second?
No, we will. We'll go back to that. We'll go back to that, Jordan.
Okay.
So what I want to do right now is out of those first 4, Sin City, Bourne Ultimatum, Episode 3, and Ip Man, we may go around and vote for which one you think should not be in the honorable mentions. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So out of those, because they're all kind of roughly the same. So you're voting for which one you don't think should be in the honorable mentions. So out of Sin City, Episode 3, Bourne, and Ip Man. So you're just voting for the one, Wolfman.
When I'm thinking action movie, I think Hurt Locker should be out.
Hurt Locker's not in contention, just the first 4.
No. Out of the 4 one.
Oh,
Yeah.
of the A one or of the
The top of A, you're just voting for the one that doesn't belong out of Sin
From
City,
Sin City
first
to
four.
Episode 3, and Ip Man. Yes, just those.
okay. Unpopular opinion. I'm gonna say Ip Man.
Okay. Richie,
No, I'm gonna say Sin City.
Steven?
Well, since I haven't seen it, Ip Man.
Oh man.
Ross?
Episode 3. I like it, but I don't love it.
All right. I'm going to say Sin City.
Yeah, and I think I would also say Sin City just doesn't have as much action as the rest. So.
Sin City 3 loses out. So
Sin City. All right,
it's
out.
gone, and it'll be those 3, as the honorable
3.
mentioned, Ip Man, Episode 3, and Bourne Ultimatum will be our honorables for this evening. So yeah, we'll go back. Dark Knight is a clear number 1 with as the only clean sweep, so we don't need to vote on that. But we can vote on the other, I believe, really the other 3 right behind it, because those are the ones that were comparable at a 5 and 1 kind of thing. Because unfortunately, Casino Royale and V for Vendetta having a couple of off votes kind of put out.
Yeah, I wonder who gave the off votes.
I wonder. Yeah.
So what we'll do is out of those 3, Crank, Iron Man, MI3, we will vote on what you think should be number 2. So we'll go around the horn. Wolfman.
Ooh. MI3.
All right. Richie.
You know what? I agree. MI3.
Steven.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with MI3.
Ross.
Iron Man.
Okay. I'm going to go MI3.
Wow, you guys are surprising me. I'm going to go Iron Man.
MI3 rules.
I don't know. Like, does it hold up to the ones after that, though?
Yeah, it started it. It's good.
Like I said, it's the second best.
Should go back and watch it.
But it's the second best.
Yeah.
All right.
But Iron Man will be right behind it because it actually got votes. Crank did not. So Iron Man and Crank will flip-flop.
Okay.
Right there.
That's fine.
So, and I think we can do some other minor voting. Live Free or Die Hard will probably be solid at number 10 because of the 3 and 3. So that will stay there. All the other ones are kind of like 4-1, 4-2. So, I mean, we can just kind of have an open discussion or see if we need to vote on anything. You know, I kind of feel like Casino Royale is maybe even above Crank for me personally.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's definitely above Crank. I would put it above Crank.
Yeah, I'd be happy to have it above Crank. Sure, let's do that.
All right.
What do you think, Steven?
No.
You guys are acting like I hate Casino Royale.
I'm gonna be shit. It's funny.
Personally, I would put V for Vendetta and Batman Begins over Crank as well, but that's just me.
Actually, you know what? I would put V for Vendetta over Crank.
Yeah,
I would put V for Vendetta.
Crank seems like a really good like number 7. I don't know why it just kind of feels like that.
You know what movie though was that's actually like on this list that kind of a Crank ripoff, but it's still pretty good. It was a Shoot 'em Up.
Yeah.
That's the movie I was referring to when I said I think Crank is, the better, crazier version.
Yeah. I kind of would put Batman Begins over Crank, but that's just me. I don't know.
I would too.
I would too.
Sure.
Crank, okay, Batman Begins is a better movie, but Crank has more action. But Batman Begins just the.
I don't know. I just felt going into this, Crank would be like a really good number 7 or 8 or something. I don't know.
I would even put a History of Violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. Would you, Austin, or no?
I'd put Crank for the action over History of Violence.
I've never seen the history, so I can't. But
I think as far as action goes, if we're going better movie, I put History of Violence over Crank. But as an action movie, Crank should go over History.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For me, personally, I would put Hot Fuzz above a lot of these, but it didn't get
I would too.
As many votes. Yeah.
But as far as the action, I think the action in some of these other ones is better than the action in Hot Fuzz. I still think it's just good commentary on action and I
don't know. Like Hot Fuzz has got some cool action. I don't know. But
it's okay, but it doesn't really pick up a whole lot till the third act.
Blow up a whole supermarket almost. But,
if I know the twist in Hot Fuzz, will I still be entertained by the movie? You think, or no, or is it?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
That's
That's fine. That's very solid.
I
Solid
think it's a pretty solid list, and I think we will wrap it up from there. Yeah.
But like, I'll have to go back and look. But I'm wondering if a Jason Bourne movie even made the like top 10 on like any of them. I don't know if it did. Like I'm trying to think.
I can't remember. I can't remember if Identity might have, maybe. But it was split. It was like a 3 and 3 kind of a thing or something.
I don't think either of the Bourne movies did make it into the top.
Yeah, so in the championship, we're not gonna have a Bourne movie, which is
this one's at the top of the honorable mentions, so that means it's like.
I feel like yeah, that's good, but it's not going to make the championship.
The championship,
no Bourne movies.
We only take the top 10s from all the decade shows for the championship. So, but oddly enough, in the other franchise, most of the Mission Impossible movies made it. Most of them.
A bunch of Mission Impossible. And then we'll have no Bourne movies, but we'll have Too Fast, Too Furious in there.
Damn right.
Yeah,
I might even nominate that shit in the championship.
Yeah. Have you guys done the best comedies though, the 2010s or no?
Yeah, we already did that.
Because like you would be my number one with an F is The Fanatic.
Just because it's
I know that
is the funniest unintentional comedy.
All right, let's wrap this thing up because it's 1:40 in the morning. I have to wake up in 2 hours for work. So let's wrap this thing up. All right. But yeah, we'll wrap it up here. We're at the 3 hour mark. We've gone a while, but yeah, it was a lot of movies. Action movies. But I'll recap it and we'll wrap this thing up. So coming in at number 1 tonight for our 05 to 09 is The Dark Knight. Number 2, Mission Impossible 3. Number 3, Iron Man. Number 4, Casino Royale. Number 5, V for Vendetta. Number 6, Batman Begins. Number 7, Crank coming in there. Number 8, A History of Violence. Number 9, Hot Fuzz. Number 10, Live Free or Die Hard, or as I like to call it, Die Hard 4.0. And our honorable mentions this evening, Bourne Ultimatum, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and Ip Man.
All right. Good. Nice.
Like it.
Good times. Yeah. So that'll be the last of our action series. So we're gonna get to a championship. We'll be a little off on that because we have a shorter month for September, and then we're gonna be doing a lot of horror stuff in October. So we're gonna do it in November is when we're gonna have it. We don't have a set date, but we'll let everyone know when we have that set. So but yeah, that'll do it for tonight. So that was fun. So we'll just do some plugs. You can tell us where we can find you, all that stuff. So we'll start with the Wolfman. Where can we find you?
Well, speaking of horror stuff, you can find me on YouTube, and I am covering horror all month long and all October long. But right now I'm doing Scare Timber on the channel, and tonight, even if I have time, if I can even stay awake for it, because this is a late stream tonight, I was going to do it either tonight or I'm going to wake up butt ass early in the morning to do it for you guys. I will do a stream of giving my before I go see Barbarian tomorrow night of my most anticipated movies of the spooky season. So that'll be fun. And then I will also be giving you guys a Barbarian review, which is the new horror movie coming out after I see that. And then I'll also be doing very soon on the 12th. Well, first off on the 9th with my friend Nick Cooling. Any of you guys who watch me, you probably know him. He is going to be joining me for Jeepers Creepers watch along, and then I've got Austin joining me for Jeepers Creepers 2 on the 12th, so that'll be fun. And then I'll probably be by myself for Jeepers Creepers 3 because no one wants to see that shit.
I still haven't seen it. Yeah.
You're not missing much.
It's not.
I think Jeepers Creepers 2 is a great guilty pleasure. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
You really one good too, though, with Justin Long.
Yeah.
And then talk about Jeepers Creepers, Jeepers Creepers Reborn review. Come once I see that, and then also talking about horror reviews. The House Scream review series is up on the channel. I just reviewed H2O, and the next one coming up is The one I'm dreading the most.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Halloween Resurrection. Oh God, I have to sit through that garbage.
Look a little crispy there, Michael. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I do a watch along of that movie. That movie's hilarious.
It is that, I would say.
Great horror comedy.
It's
Halloween Resurrection. Yeah, it's a great comedy.
but the fact that a Halloween movie is a comedy, that should not be.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy.
Starring
I
Tyra Banks.
prefer Trick or Treat, motherfucker, to like Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah, and there will be an Evil Dies Tonight drinking game on the channel too.
I might have to join you for that watch along and take a sip of beer every time they say it, and we'll get
Yes, I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Let's do it. We'll die tonight.
Yeah.
The cheesy thing, yeah.
So so that's sort of.
How about the game where it's Evil Dies Tonight, and also every time Lori tries to sit up out of her hospital bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will, whenever I rewatch the movie for my review, I'll like jot down in like a journal of like things that are good to like drink to that repeat in the movie, and then I'll say like these are the things that we.
You could also drink every time somebody dies in that movie, and you'd be dead by the end of the movie. Still counts about 40 in that movie.
It would literally be like kills by the end of the stream.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. Anything else, Wolf, or is that about it?
That's about it. Yeah.
And then our House of the Dragon too on Sundays.
Oh yeah, House of the Dragon after show on Sundays. Yes.
Yeah, nice. Well, Richie, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on on here on Tournament Fight. I'm sure you'll. I haven't really kept my schedule, so you'll get to tell me the next tournament.
Yeah.
And then Lonely Marks tomorrow. Talking a lot of AEW drama, just a bit of drama going on.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So we'll talk about that. I talk about we'll recap. Clash of the Castle and All Out. And so it's fun. I started on my own podcast about about Tubi movies with my friend Robert. We're gonna shoot a whole bunch of episodes before we release all of them. But we're gonna shoot episode 2 here coming here soon. They're not all gonna be like full on Tubi movies, but like the ones that looks the ones look kind of bad. So I think there's one called like Man from Earth is the one we're gonna do next. It's got Tony Todd in it, but I don't know if it's going to be that bad, but so we're going to do that next, and so check out for that, and I'm at some point too. I'll be on JPO panel counting down the best of USQ movies. So check that out.
Nice.
And
Sounds good. Yeah. And Steven, where can we find you?
Well, I don't really have anything to plug at the moment. I do hope to start making videos for my own YouTube channel. Like the Emmys are going to be next Monday. So I'll probably do like an Emmy predictions, who I think is going to win. Hopefully I'll have that up. The Emmys are Monday, so hopefully by Sunday I'll have that up.
Wow. Well, it's actually fitting because we're going to be doing our sitcom championship right near the end.
Well, make sure you submit it to the Shoutout and Friends and Family group. We'll help you promote it, man. Get people.
Yeah.
All right, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ross, where can we find you?
Just on Michael's channel, like Mega Movie Z. He already talked about what we're going to be doing. And then we have other stuff. That's on the back burner, but we'll be bringing that back. But yeah. So yeah, not really that much right now, but.
Cool. Yeah, no worries. We'll look forward to you over there on Mike's channel. But Austin, where can we find you?
Well, in the co-hosting chair as usual, hanging around, shitting on children and men. The usual. And you can find Steven rewatching Casino Royale and apologizing to us on the next episode.
And apologize.
Children and men.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna do it for The Godfather, so you gotta do it too. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, like Wolfman said, we'll be doing the Jeepers Creepers 2 thing next week, so that'll be fun. And because it's on Prime, so it's easiest to watch. I'll podcast about movies. Me and Jacob Barber, Jordan Owens, and Jordan Anderson will be on us this week because we'll be doing a big Hollywood fantasy draft. So 33 actors, 12 directors, 5 composers, 50 picks, giant show. If you were to have your own movie studio, who would you draft from any era and why? And it's going to be a lot of fun. That should be madness. It's going to be great. Can't wait.
Yeah.
That's Friday
Sounds
night.
good. Yeah.
Mhm.
So looking forward to that one. Yeah. But yeah, and then you can just find us on all the social media, Movie Hero 2121 on Twitter and Instagram. I'm trying to update that more, so to actually tell you what's coming up in advance versus just dropping the link like right as we're going live kind of thing. But
It's only. I hope you're okay with this. It's only available to rent or buy on Amazon. It's not like on Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, I'll figure out a way to watch it. Don't worry about that.
yeah.
What are you trying to say? I'm poor? I can afford that shit.
yeah.
I got it.
Well, and you can find us in the Shoutout Friends and Family group on Facebook. So we actually will have a poll for this episode coming up in the next day or two. So you can watch for that. And then
Hop in my DVD if I have to, Michael Wolfman. I got that double DVD.
oh yeah,
I just have to turn my TV this way.
yeah. But
Send him the copy of Children of Men.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to ship you as just like some fan mail a Blu-ray copy of Children of Men.
I already have it on Blu-ray. I rewatched it and I wanted to throw it away.
Why do you own it if you hate it?
Because I own everything. Have you seen the collection right next to me?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be trying to do some more snack heroes. I have a really busy next 2 days, so probably the next snack hero you'll see is probably Saturday. So I watch for that because I want to get through some of my snacks before I go to town because I have an overabundance currently of like these snacks that are sitting here waiting to be reviewed. So I'm going to do that. But and then Austin already mentioned the Hollywood draft. I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to make it more of a light week next week because I had a super busy week this next 2 weeks, and me and Austin were going out of town. So we will have 2 shows though that we'll be doing our sitcom championship on Sunday, which we still have a couple open spots. I'm actually trying to find maybe 1 or 2 more people for that. So like Steven, I know you're a big TV guy. I don't know if you're into sitcoms, but you're welcome on it, or really anyone. Like if you want to do it Sunday, it'll be the championship. So yeah. But and then we also let's see, we doing Jordan Owens top 128 part 1. So he's finally getting his episode for that. And then when we come back from being out of town, because we're out of town, we're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. We've already mentioned it kind of ad nauseum of all the stuff we're going to do. But just watch the channel. Make sure you have the little bell button so you know when we have things come up. It's just going to be whenever we have some time to do it. And then also watch our social media too. We'll post on social media, but when we're gonna do snack heroes on the road and like reviews of the theme parks and reviews of different things we're doing while we're on the road. And then when we come back, we'll be doing best movies of 2018. So we'll get into the year of 2018. Then we'll be doing best Stephen King adaptation. Oh, and then also speaking of 2018, Malcolm Lay helped me put the list together, so that way when we get back from being out of town, we won't be like thrust into just that whole thing and have to scramble to put it together. So we actually have a poll up over the Shoutout Friends and Family group. We had some movies on the chopping block. We're only gonna have 5 of them that are gonna make it into the final 128. So you can go there, you can vote, you can see all the movies we have on the chopping block. You can vote for the 5 you think should make it. So that really help us out to be able to determine that. So if you haven't voted, then you can go over there and do that. And then we'll be doing tournament fight versus. It'll be Austin's top 32 versus Andres Gallegos top 32. So they're going to be going head to head. They're top 32 favorite horror movies of all time, I should say. So we're doing that. And then we're doing Steve Mace's top 64. He hasn't done one yet, so we're gonna do a 64 for him. And then we're gonna be doing best movie villains of all time. And I'll even throw you one extra one. We're gonna be doing best zombies and infected people movies. So yeah, these are just some episodes that you can look forward to. So yeah, so got a pretty full slate coming up. So yeah, but thanks again, guys, for being on the episode. So that'll do it for tonight. So for the Wolfman, for Richie, for Steven, for Ross, for Austin, Pez, I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we'll see you next time.